Something tells me this show is going to go a lot quicker tonight. I wonder what changed.
This is a warning to all living mortals. That who shall ever open this chest of demons will release 13 of the most terrifying ghosts upon the face of the earth. Okay, cut it. This isn't going to work. Let's try some nostalgia bait.
It's mighty strange. You looking happily rain. I can't settle this in bed. Or have you picked your target yet? It's ending. Got your dog bite. It's ending.
Okay, that was better. But let's try something a bit more cinematic.
Hey, where my broken arrows at? They try to tell us we can't fly. Like we too broken or something. I mean, I'd rather let them know. Balls up. Hold up. My squad about to roll up. Hold up. My squad about to roll up. Get them balls up. Get them balls up. Get them balls up. Get them balls up. Hold up. My squad about to roll up. Hold up. My squad about to roll up. All the way up. Get them balls 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 up. All the way up. Broken arrows get bows up. Sometimes I pray with my nose up. Thinking about when the world crumbles and my whole squad just goes up. Whoa. Ain't gotta worry, we straight like an arrow, yeah. Ain't gotta worry about faith, nope. I'm on that straight and the narrow, yeah. I just go straight like an arrow, yeah.
Yeah, that's the shit I like. Let's start the Barroom podcast. Take it away, Jacob.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are live. We are here. It is Tuesday night here on the Barroom podcast, episode 119. Somehow this caveman gentleman snuck in here during the intro. Why are you on my show? Why are you here? Or were you gigging to our intro over there, Culture?
Oh, dude, you bet. Yeah. Cider is introduced a new feature on bounding videos. Lots of music. So yeah.
Oh yeah. His name is literally the AI Banger King.
It was like Spencer. That was a little out of place, but I love it. It's awesome. Spider's getting some play over on YouTube. Well done, bro. Well done.
Oh yeah,
doing what I can.
Big reason why we just hit 20,000 over there on the YouTubes. So
yeah, dude, you're gonna blow by me. I'm gonna be Linda Ronstadt to be blew by you. Yeah. Unlike Kamala Harris, which is just blowing by people. What with it's anyway. Sorry,
there's a lot of blowing with that lady. Yes,
that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
I feel like there's going to be a lot of blowing happening in today's show, not in a good way. But
Florida's getting blown in a bad way. That's for damn sure.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of it. Our good buddy Eddie Brock is here. How you doing now, Eddie?
Hello. How are you? It's
he
not
asked
90
you
degrees
first.
up. Oh,
it's 90, bro.
It used to be. Yeah, it was. It's been like really really hot for the past few days. I don't know why.
So Eddie's hot right now. All right.
They call it. And I have to preface this by saying this is how we call it. I don't mean to take offense to it. And we actually have people around here that identify with it. It's Indian summer.
Indian summer, yeah. That's not an offensive term.
I believe we have to start calling it Native American summer simply because of the fact that
I prefer Redskin summer.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, you and everybody in the Washington area.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I think it's a little bit more preferable than Indian summer. I'm trying to be a little bit nice, but
Oh boy. I mean, that. Look, I mean, it was easier to say maybe for some dialects.
just our good buddy Cider's here at the Banger King. How you doing, Night Cider?
Yeah.
I'm on the wrong coast to understand most of the conversation about this. So
I don't know
you
what
and
that
your
means.
summers have a great time.
Yeah. We just got
Yeah.
fall here though in Pennsylvania, so it's been a little
Shipped it
late
right
for
in.
everybody. But yeah, I just said this in the chat, but the it was 100 degrees at kickoff with the Niners Cardinals game, just like the
Woof.
hottest kickoff in Niners history, which is kind of amazing. But it just doesn't, I'm sure Eddie knows this better than I do, but it just doesn't get that hot.
not at all.
Wow, that's crazy.
Wait
Because
a minute. Where was the game played?
In
Santa
Santa
Clara.
Clara, just south of San Francisco.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. So yeah.
It's like-
That's like crazy, but not surprising. I mean, Bay Area's been heating up, and by the way, that's a cyclical thing. That's not unusual. It happens. It gets warmer about every 80 to 100 years in Northern California.
Yeah.
So,
Meanwhile, next week it's supposed to be like low 40s here, so I have to like break out my heater, and that's gonna be fun. Remember, that smell that you get from your heater when you hadn't used it in like 4 months?
yeah,
all the dust and dust bunnies and everything in there.
dude, if you have a handheld vac, suck up on the coils, or take a can of like liquid air or compressed air or whatever, and shoot the coils, and then it'll be less like toxic-y to breathe.
or risk a house fire. That's always fun.
Nah, I don't think so.
I know who to call if you risk a house fire, though.
The Ghostbusters? Yeah, because you dead?
I like how there was like a setup there that we never got the punchline for.
I don't have to say my punchlines anymore. Everyone knows them.
By the way, Rob's here too. How you doing, Rob?
Wait, Rob's
I'm
here.
good. I'm good.
Rob's here to disagree with me on every single thing.
Not unless you thought that Joker was good. I don't think there's gonna be anything worth disagreeing.
No, I promise you, Rob thought Joker was good.
No.
He's just sipping the tea.
It's
Pinky's
my
out
coffee.
and everything.
Yeah.
I'll go one on two for Megalopolis because that was a piece of garbage.
Yeah, we had a good conversation about that last Friday night. Yeah, I think it's going to continue just a little bit here because I have some stories for us to talk about that are going to be
Good.
very interesting. Let's go ahead and introduce our chat here. We're live on Rumble. We're live on YouTube here tonight. So, of course, Keith is over there on our Rumble side of things. Leslie Tarkin is here saying hail to all you lovely people. Also, a reminder, she says that praise to everyone for the hurricane relief and for the first hurricane. And now there's like another massive one about to hit Tampa in just a couple of days. Florida looks like they're going to get hit pretty hard. So, what else we got here? We got Neo Zoic saying hello to the barroom crew. Good ghouls, ghosts, and goblins in the chat because it is Halloween month, I guess. But he says here, first question: which horror film inspired by a real life serial killer would you rather watch? 1960 Psycho or 1974 Texas Chainsaw Massacre? I think he threw in Silence in the Lambs there too. So there's three options. From a classical perspective, I would pick Psycho. From an actual film quality perspective, I would pick Silence of the Lambs. Rob, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I've always loved Psycho. I've always hated the Silence of the Lambs, and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre has there's some things about it I really like, but the family freakout scene is just kind of where I lose interest every time I watch it. But yeah, Psycho. It's hard to really beat a classic, so we'll go with that one.
Yep. Culture, what would you go with?
I really like Psycho. I mean, I'm a psychological thriller kind of a guy. I think Psycho is probably one of the best breakdowns. I think not just because it's a classic or because they could continue to make great films based on it. Silence of the Lambs is a good second follow-up. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is, a different kind of horror. So, like I said, Psycho's probably the best, I would think.
Cider, are you a horror fan? Which one did you pick out of these three?
I'm not a horror fan, but as far as horror movies go, Psycho is probably the best of the choices.
Wait a
here.
minute,
The
you
other
don't
two
like
are a bit-
you don't like paying for cinema?
No.
Huh.
When
They call
I'm
it
one
now?
of those people.
Okay.
I see movies somehow. It's a mystery. But Psycho is the best out of these ones. Texas Chainsaw Massacre has always been over the top for me. No matter what rendition it is, it's always just way too much. And Silence of the Lamb is just jacking itself off in your face for 90 minutes. That's all it is. It's just the director and the writer and the producer is jacking off in your face. I don't even think
Quite
Anthony
literally.
Hopkins knows he's part of it. He's having a great time making mouth noises at that actress for most of the movie. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny you say that because it was directed by Jonathan Demme, who went on to do Philadelphia, which, look, you can find it moving and it's fine, and sure, but it's just such a an obvious sort of AIDS drama where it's
a 1950s soap opera.
Poor Tom Hanks. So,
But
I'm
wait,
not surprised at that.
Hey, okay.
You're
okay.
right there, Culture.
What? No, I was just gonna ask because, I want to add one to this. I mean, what's the better one? Okay, I know this is supposedly based on real life serial killer, but what do you think about American Psycho?
As a horror movie?
Yeah, as a horror movie rather than a.
It's more of a
Really?
black comedy to me.
Yeah, I've always
satire,
read it
but-
as a comedy. Like, he literally puts on a poncho and does a dance before he murders a man with a nail gun. Like,
Just like
Well,
the other-
I mean, first of all, "Hip to Be Square" is the song to do that to,
Of
right?
course.
okay.
I mean, just I mean,
I could think of a few others to murder people too, but a little
Well,
jazzier.
maybe. I mean,
What about Pantera? What about Walk? You ever try?
well, how about "Swing on a Star"? What?
Sure.
Swinging on a Star? I mean,
Would
they
you
worked
like
in
to swing on a star?
beautiful. Yeah, there's my
Well, what
man
about
Jar-
time for some action from Redman? If we were gonna throw a little hip hop.
All right. Well,
Or how about
hey,
Saturday? How about Saturday Night is All Right for Fighting by Elton John?
that'd work. Hey, give me some DMX, right? I think DMX is there's some definite murder song in there.
I feel like
Shut
there's
it
going to
down.
be a remake of American Psycho because we're talking too much about the soundtrack, and somebody's going to make that a movie where they have to the serial killer has to choose the soundtrack of how they murder you.
No, the
Yeah.
movie's gonna be filmed in Brooklyn. It's gonna be the same thing, but it's Brooklyn. So of course they got DMX and Wu-Tang in the soundtrack.
Right.
They're trying to pander.
Oh, right, because there's no white people there anymore.
Right.
Yep. There you go.
Right, now, hang on a minute. Can there be a black samurai?
No,
If there
boy.
can be a black
if
samurai.
he's fictional, certainly.
In Brooklyn, sure. Why not?
Now,
In Brooklyn, yeah, that makes perfect
I'm
sense.
Black Samurai in Brooklyn coming this
Yeah.
fall.
Yeah, I think it'd be great. He only speaks Japanese the whole time, right?
Perfect.
Fantastic. Be
But
subtitled.
with bad dubbing too.
It'd be
Yeah,
like
oh.
coming to America, but he slices people up.
I'm all for it. I mean, I don't know about you. I write this
like-
movie, Cider. I will find money for it. Let's make this thing happen. I want to do this.
Movie Man Cider.
Cider has way too many movies on his hands right now. So
Make another one, apparently.
It's basically blockbuster.
What was it about again? I totally forgot.
You can just watch the replay. You'll figure it out.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I was just
Bonus
gonna let
question.
ChatGPT write it. It's probably better than Hollywood's.
Bonus question: which alien is scarier, the pod people from Invasion of the Body Snatchers, or the Thing from John Carpenter's The Thing? The Thing, when literally
Absolutely.
the alien, when his head just comes off and starts walking on its own and starts eating the dogs and stuff like that. You can't go past the Thing. I mean, to me, that's the number one.
I think that it's the obvious answer is The Thing because what it morphs into so ferociously
Robot.
monstrous and awful, and I never want to have to face that thing. But I don't know, because Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the remake from the 70s, is my favorite horror movie of all time. And as an idea, I think it's absolutely terrifying of losing your identity, of losing who you are, your own mind, your own ability to make decisions. That's to me just absolutely terrifying versus the Thing just killing you. And it's whatever. Humanity's gonna die off soon anyway. So, but that's just my take on it.
All right, you're just full of joy tonight.
I'd like to point out that on the other question, all three of those movies are all based on the same serial killer,
Yes,
Well,
Ed Gein.
Ed
Yes.
Gein.
Ed Gein.
Yeah.
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 Also, Silence of the Lambs is ultimately better just because of the fact that it gave you this line. Oh wait, was she a really great big fat person?
I will say that I think The Thing is the classic, and I will also say that we are watching that as part of my member watch party for Gold Tier members next Tuesday. Every other Tuesday we watch a film, and The Thing is next Tuesday's film, and I seem to watch that film an awful lot. Let's just say, so, good movie.
Yeah, we have other people who are here. Spencer's here joining us here tonight. Of course, he's booing as normal because that's
Maybe he's a ghost.
Hell yeah,
Boo.
boo,
Boo
yeah,
Werns. Boo Werns.
That's what they're saying. Vanya has asked me to be on the intro. The intro's for people who are on the show. I can't put you in the intro because then nobody's going to know who you are. But I did receive your picture. I'll send you a little something, over the next, week or so. So I'll just keep in mind in Twitter. I'll shoot you over there. Spencer's already jinxing the Padres before they've already started the game. And by the way, literally the Dodgers just homered. So it's 1-0 Dodgers. So thanks, Spencer, you dick. That's why the Padres haven't been to the World Series since '98. So
San Diego,
That's not
Super
why.
Padres, San Diego, Padres. There you go.
Yeah, I tried to play that song once, but apparently it's copyright claimed here on YouTube. So thanks, Google, you dicks. Yeah, who do we have here? Culture. Yeah, bangers. Who else do we got here? Yeah, Rob's in the chat tonight as well. Doba Fett's here with us. Yeah, I think he literally saw the Mookie Betts home run like literally right as we started. It says that King struck out Otani, so we started strong. Yeah, but you still gave up a home run, so we'll see how that one goes.
And by the way, Doba Fett, good to see you.
All right. So
I'm eating a salad, just so you know.
Cool.
Do you have to be such a weirdo? I mean, you are kind of a hippie.
Hit like if you're tossing a salad too.
No, I'm eating a salad.
Right.
Okay.
A tossed salad.
No, actually, this is a wedge salad.
Wedge. Wow.
The boss brought me a wedge salad tonight. So.
Yeah, don't mention tossed salads. We'll get to Joker later on. We haven't got there yet.
Oh no,
I
don't think there was anything that tender in that scene. But you wishful thinking or whatnot. Holy cow!
Well, just real quick before we get started here, Doba Fett, your team has won like at least 2 or 3 World Series like in the last like 5 to 10 years, and you're holding on to a beef from a loss like NLCS from 1998. Like, get out of here! I know I listen to this. Yeah, this is his greatest moment. Yep, the 123 win Yankee team. I think thanks a lot, Steinbrenner. But there's no easy way to transition into this story or out of this story, so we're just gonna go ahead and get it right out of the way. It's Diddy time. We've talked about Diddy over the course of the last month or so with everything going on with him. And the New York Post alleges that there is a video that could leak in the coming weeks that will be very, very bad for a lot of people for a multitude of reasons, because it alleges that it shows Diddy having sex with a young male star who's considered to be an A-list star. So when the video releases, everyone's going to know exactly who it is. And there's been a lot of, guesstimates, let's just call it that way, of who it may be. I think there's only one name that comes to mind, but let's get to the story here. So this is originally from the New York Post through Breitbart. An alleged sex tape with disgraced music mogul Sean Diddy Combs, who's currently still incarcerated, with a young male who is now an A-list celebrity, is being shopped around to media outlets while horrified A-list star braces himself for the footage to be published. I mean, that's going to be a terrible day on Twitter for that individual. So I can only imagine it's probably not going to be the best thing when that does leak. It's triggering the individual who's a member of the celebrity's inner circle. So the media knows exactly who this is. So it pretty much tells you that there's probably some smoke to this fire. It feels like a betrayal and a violation. It's causing a lot of trust issues. It brings up some really disturbing and bad memories. The footage reportedly shows a man who appears to be Combs having sex with a younger male who appears to be the A-list celebrity. Both of their faces are clearly visible in the footage. The New York Post noted the outlet has decided not to release the identity of the A-list star at this time. It's a total nightmare, the insider told the New York Post. It feels like he was victimized years ago, and now it's being victimized again. If this footage gets out, it will follow him for life. It will be on the internet forever. The second member of the A-list inner circle said that the star is trying to ignore all the talk about the alleged sex tape, so there's not much he can do about it. If the video was taken without his knowledge, that somehow got out, the insider says all he can do is pray, and his praying is that he's praying that this all goes away. Since multiple people have apparently have the footage in question, of at least one individual currently was trying to sell it to the media. I mean, We'll talk about that here in a second. As far as anyone knows, the alleged sex tape has not been turned over to the feds. So this is probably not one of the secure tapes that they got from Diddy's raid earlier this spring, where I believe they raided his LA and his Miami home because he had some stuff there that the feds probably wanted to get their hands on. Department of Homeland Security told the New York Post that authorities believe that Combs filmed these videos at his mansion, but did not confirm if the A-list star in question was featured in any of the footage they obtained from the raids that was conducted earlier this year. Federal officer said that though there are recognizable names in the video footage that they collected during their raids, they won't confirm any of their identities, but it's more than just one. So, in other words, the feds absolutely know who was a part of Diddy's little special parties, but those names, just like the Epstein name, probably won't leak until somebody does something drastic. Just put it that way. The Post said that several several members of the media have told the outlet that they've been given the opportunity to purchase the video over the last few weeks, but ultimately have turned it down due to the legal challenges involved with authenticating the footage. And then, of course, there's concerns whether the celebrity was underage at the time of the video, which causes a whole bunch of other issues here. So, yeah, not good stuff being passed around here, but apparently there's insiders both with the media and the person who this is alleged to be that says that there is some legitimacy to this thing, and they're all worried about this leaking. So let's just kind of get to the nitty-gritty here. Most people are alleging or assuming right now that this is probably Justin Bieber, and then this is the name that's associated with. We've played videos of Diddy being associated with Bieber when he was like 16 to 18 years old.
Didn't Usher actually hand him over?
Yep, and there's the allegations between Diddy and Usher too. So
we know
there's a lot of things like going on here, but there's a lot of videos that say that probably what led to Bieber's downfall, at least emotionally and mentally, was probably the sex abuse that he suffered while he was young in Hollywood. I mean, there's a whole bunch of disturbing videos online, very, very young in his career, about him being mishandled with a whole bunch of people who are adults, like just full-grown adults. I mean, Diddy at the time of the video that we were showing was about 40 years old. So this wasn't like, even somebody in their mid-20s hanging out with Justin Bieber who was only 16 or 18 at the time. So that's only the assumption. We don't know that for certain, but considering the fact that they said there's a young star who was an A-lister, there's not a whole lot of names that you can throw in there right now that would fit. Some people have tried to argue possibly Drake, but I just don't see that one being a possibility because the timeline really doesn't match up very well, even though Drake has confirmed that he has attended Diddy's parties as well. So it wouldn't surprise me if he's somewhere on one of those tapes that are being held by the FBI. This is just kind of where we're at right now with this story. So with the limited information that we have at the moment, Cider, I'll start this one off of you. What is your take on the I guess this private entity trying to sell videos of this sex tape with Diddy and a young boy?
To sell it is a bit strange, but it's Hollywood. And I think when you live there, you just kind of accept the fact that every part of you is going to be monetized. Whether you sign on a dotted line or not, that's going to happen.
Well,
so...
No, I would just want to add to what you were saying when you're finished. Sorry.
Oh no, I'm just saying that it's helpful that this information's getting out, so I can't be entirely upset about the price tag being associated with it. But I can say that that's probably up there with scalping during a disaster. So,
well, and that's the problem, right, Cider? I mean, right now, there's a lawyer out there claiming that Diddy's A-list friends are paying off the victims to avoid being named in the thousands of lawsuits that are going to be filed. So you can imagine the people writing checks at the moment. I mean, this is not news to anybody. This is one of the lawyers involved in this saying, "Oh yeah, people are getting paid." No shit. This is one of those things. It's like, yeah. Yeah, yep. And can you imagine Tony's? Excuse me, not Tony. Can you imagine Combs' mom right now? What she's dealing with? I mean, Can you even imagine?
I mean,
my son's a sex freak that was doing
gone
all
into
this
hiding. I would hope
bad shit.
But wasn't his mother involved in some nefarious activities too? Isn't that kind of the reason why he is who he is as well? Because I'm pretty sure there were some allegations about his mother and his upbringing as well, which kind of makes some sense of why he's the way he is.
This is a bigger problem for the people who didn't actually do the bad things. like
Yeah.
the people that just showed up at these parties, at these
Right.
freak offs, right? Because like they were there, and yes, there was bad things happening, but they weren't involved in it. And there are many people who went to one of these and never went again. So it's just like, you know, this is just one of those times where you're going, you know, you're going to have a long list of people that are definitely bad, but you're going to have a lot of people that were just basically like collateral damage.
Yeah.
That's the other thing that I think somebody should take into account. At least I do, because I know you can end up in a situation and be like looking around going, this was not the party I signed up for. So
Yeah, I mean, there's two things with this one here. One is like you said, we know the names of the people who have been to at least one of these parties. They've mentioned it like before, right? But because we don't know who was actually there with certain activities, it's like, okay, who was there just having drinks in the kitchen, and then who was back in the secret rooms doing the debaucherous thing with everybody else that's been caught on several cameras now at this point. And a second thing, I think it was Leslie who just mentioned it here. You're essentially looking at a situation where if these media outlets know that there's a tape and they're waiting on legality issues, it's not that, oh, a sex tape got out, and like they can easily comb over that. I mean, especially with the law, especially where the state that these happened in, it's the question of whether the person in the video was actually underage at that time period, and what the legalities is of that. Because I know Florida has some like weird thing with like age of consent, so like it could be if he was 16 or 17 at the time, like maybe there's some kind of loophole. I don't know, but that's probably what they're looking into was why they're holding off on it.
Understand that there are other countries where this news is being reported broadly. The names of everybody that's been involved that have been released and everything else. Yeah. You cannot grab that information. If you do not have a VPN, you can't go and look at Times of India, where a lot of this stuff is at, or any of these other places internationally where you can find these stories. They're not afraid of talking about it. It's in this country they're terrified.
Yeah, because this country, we are all the people in power who are involved with this one, and they don't want the names getting out.
They
but it's
do
like,
not
yeah,
want that.
If you're in Finland or like Bulgaria or something like that, like you don't care about protecting names of those people. So it's like, and here we are. Rob, what's your take on this thing?
Well, I think about that journalist who worked for ABC News, who basically was told to sort of shut the fuck up about the Epstein thing, and
got her fired.
I don't know. I'm really, and obviously this started a while ago, but I was just like, I look there, and I use this term all the time. Power centers like Washington D.C., Rome, and the Vatican, Hollywood, Silicon Valley. There are certain places, Wall Street, and other areas of Manhattan, but there are certain areas where the rules that sort of govern the world you and I live in don't really exist. Okay, so things like whatever I don't even explicit off, like people being taken advantage of is more common, and this is what I've kind of always assumed about Hollywood. But ever since I started doing the show, since we started covering, or I was a part of covering stuff like this, it's starting to creep in that it seems to be more of a feature and not a bug of Hollywood, where there are too many examples of people being either taken advantage of or I don't know. It's like this culture of like whispers where like everybody knows what's going on, but nobody's going to say anything because they all have something to gain by keeping it quiet. I don't know. Again, I'm naturally a paranoid person, so maybe it's just talking about this stuff sort of brings
oh man,
out,
you're alt-right. You outed yourself as alt-right right there, dude.
But it's too creepy not to at least consider. You know what I mean? That's the whole thing, is like I'm up for like it being whatever. Obviously Puff Daddy's guilty of a lot of things. So that is pretty obvious.
And honestly has still, and I point this out, everyone's talking about all the sexual stuff, and don't get me wrong, the sexual stuff is bad. However, we're talking about a guy who, sexual stuff aside, for the last 30 years, he's been implicated in murders. Like, not just, he may have had sex with an underage boy, he may be sleeping with dudes behind the scenes. Like, he's been implicated in literally killing people. Like, look into the situation with his ex-girlfriend or wife, or whatever the case was, who just so happens to drop a memoir postmortem and whatnot, but there was allegations about how that whole thing was very, very shaky. There was allegations, obviously, from Tupac saying that Diddy was the one who tried to kill him the first time around, and then may have been involved the second time that actually did kill him.
Pretty sure.
And then, like I said, the night that Biggie got shot, Diddy was in the car in front of it, either in front or behind the car that got shot up.
And blocked him in. Blocked him in. That's the other part of that story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
no, man, if you want to eliminate somebody, make it impossible for them to go forward and make it impossible for them to go backward. Mm-hmm. So there you go. You box them in.
Yeah, so I mean, you're talking about a guy who, if everything that's been alleged of him over the last 30 years is true, you're looking at one of the most evil people to have ever walked the face of the earth. I mean, when it's all said and done, I mean, the murders and the dead bodies is bad enough as it is, but then you add in an entire like Epstein operation with underage people behind the scenes as well. I mean, you don't get much more wicked than Sean Combs. You just don't. Eddie, what's your take on
the Department of Justice being after him? Is just like here's the thing. I'm not saying that there aren't corrupt aspects of the DOJ, because there certainly are. But legitimately, most of the time, the Department of Justice is after you. They're you're into some shit. Like you're into some stuff where it's like they've been watching you for a while, and now they're just acting on the information.
And that could be the big piece of this whole story. It's like, why did the DOJ and the FBI step in? They don't care if like someone like Kim Kardashian or Usher or somebody like that gets exposed, because that's just like TMZ tabloid stuff. The FBI gets involved. That means that it's usually a politician, a high-ranking official, or someone close to the government who's been implicated in this as well. And that's when the raids start. So how deep does this really go? Because we all know that Diddy had a relationship with the Obamas, with the Clintons, with a whole bunch of people who are currently actively in power right now. So who got tagged up in this whole thing, which is causing the federal government to come down on Diddy and try to make everything go away in the shadows? That's the real question.
Well,
but,
I mean, you can
take on the Diddy story.
I just want to say that thank God for
2020.
I just wanted to say thank God for 2024 and Cat Williams coming out and saying that we're going to be seeing some crazy ass shit coming out pretty soon. Mm-hmm. So 2024, I don't like. I knew there was pedophiles in fucking Diddy's thing, and I mean, it's not like it's oh my God. And yeah, we're gonna have some horrible shit coming out for Diddy, and we're gonna have some horrible shit probably coming out for a lot of other people too, like Jay-Z and the Obamas and the Clintons, and they want to say Bieber too, and they want to say Usher and all these. What I want to know is. What I want to know is whether or not, and I shouldn't be the guy to ask this, is Black America going to finally wake up to the idea that, all of this shit is stuff that they've agreed to for the past 40 years? And we've been trying to hype up and make their old culture out of and everything else? Or are we finally going to deny that shit ever fucking should be in the Black culture and actually build something that would be actually worthwhile, that, would make something that isn't this? Because this shouldn't be rap music. Rap music used to be wholesome, and well, not wholesome, but at least it'd tell you the truth and not include a bunch of fucking pedos and drug dealers and everything else that comes along with it, murderers and everything else, and then glorify on top of that. So I'm really hoping that 2024 is like an awakening for Black America and when I mean by Black, urban America, whatever you want to call it. I hope there's an awakening here that the people that you put your faith in through culture and through entertainment really, really suck, and you shouldn't follow them. So.
Yeah, I mean, how many people need to fall that were highly regarded in the Black community over the last 10 years? I mean, you could throw names like Will Smith. I mean, and I mentioned this in a couple nights ago, or I think it was an MSK stream, but remember, it wasn't that long ago, maybe about 10 years or so, where Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith, their relationship was like the pinnacle of like Black Hollywood like relationships, because like, oh, they had been together forever and they love each other and their kids are so great, and like they were putting them up as like the benchmark. And that whole relationship and that whole whole facade has fallen apart so hard over the last 10 years. It's like they don't even mention them anymore, right? But there's no rebuke of, it's like, oh yeah, we got that one wrong. So when that one fell apart, it became, okay, we're no longer going with Will and Jada. We're not going to go with Jay-Z and Beyonce. And Jay-Z and Beyonce are two high-profile people who are possibly implicated in this whole Diddy situation. So it's like, how do we need to figure out some real shady stuff going on with those two before people start realizing it's like, sure seems like that a lot of these high profile like black entertainers are all involved with something that's clearly evil and clearly demonic. You know what I mean? It's like even Beyonce, there was like an assistant of hers, like an old assistant of her a couple of years ago, basically saying that, oh yeah, Beyonce does like straight up witchcraft that during like her shows, and like she professes like high level witches. Even she's even recorded on camera doing like pagan like prayers and rituals and like stuff like straight up paganism. So it wouldn't surprise me the depravity. I mean, from my perspective, maybe some of your listeners here is like, it's not. It wouldn't surprise me the depravity that some of these people go. It's like, when are some of the people who are kind of out of the circle going to wake up and see what's really going on here? That's the real question, because it's starting to get harder and harder to just turn a blind eye and pretend like you don't see what's happening anymore.
I bring it up because I live in a black community, like a genuine black community, and I've seen what all of this does to this community and how it just,
I mean, I can imagine the Bay Area, probably hit the hardest with like a lot of the stuff that's going on there. Everything that's been popularized there. Yeah. Oakland. I mean, I'm not saying that you're in Oakland, just throwing that out there, but I'm just saying that, that whole area, I mean, even San Francisco, I mean, I think I mentioned this like a couple weeks ago too. It used to be like Oakland was the shithole, but San Francisco was nice, and that is no longer the case. That stuff has definitely crept up to the other side of the bridge, if you guys know what I mean there. So, I mean, it's rough, but like I said, the stuff is getting exposed, and at the end of the day, it's up to the people to decide, if they're going to start, smartening up and pay attention to this.
Doesn't it feel like this happens like every 50 or 60 years or so?
It used to be every 50 and 60 years when you didn't have, as much, media and internet control as we have now. Now it seems like it just happens like every 3 weeks. Well,
no, I mean, to that extent, sure. But I mean, like things that are like ground shaking, like, look, I need everybody on this panel and around the world to just, freely admit that McCarthy was right.
I'll take it a step further. McCarthy didn't go far enough. How about that?
Okay, fair enough. I'm just saying. I mean, the true evil is the fact that the oligarchs control the media in this country. Yeah. And this is how you get away with this shit. You don't let stories come to the limelight. You don't let them be reported. And you let people think that they're right about their movie opinions. Because Joker is a classic film.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was until last
Joker 2. Joker 2 is probably the best film of the year.
We'll talk about Joker here just in a second. But I do want to replay this one joke from Cat Williams. Keep in mind, this was 20 years ago. He did this stand-up performance. And now people are recycling this because he was telling you then, and people just weren't paying attention until now. And like now, when you hear the joke, it's like it's not as funny as it was 20 years ago.
Motherfuckers be gay in Hollywood. You never fucking expected. They be having these big ass mansion parties, and the mansion party, the whole mansion is a party, and then it's a separate party in the little rooms. I ain't been famous that goddamn long. I'm excited in a motherfucker to be at the mansion party. You be looking in all the goddamn rooms, and you fuck around and look in the wrong room and shit.
Having been to those parties, yes.
Nick, come here. Come here. Is that two niggas kissing? Is one of them niggas Professor Ovi? He came out the closet. He came out the closet. Oh my God, a rubber.
Yep.
Hey, you know what Cat Williams said about Matt Rife?
Recently or back then?
No, recently. Well, Matt Rife's a recent phenomenon, not 20 years ago. Matt Rife was like barely born. What the fuck?
What do you say about him?
Well, he's gay.
I mean, like I said, it is going to get to a point, especially in Hollywood, where it's like, who isn't gay, like in that town? I mean, and understand this too. Hollywood has played a major, major role here, both in the United States and globally, in normalizing and pushing the LGBTQ agenda all over this country. I
But
mean,
there's a
they
reason
literally
for it.
exactly, like, keep in mind, it was like 2008. They literally created that show Modern Family to normalize homosexual relationships, so they can essentially push their efforts to legalize gay marriage, which they did a few years later. And then after they legalized it, they canceled the show. So I mean, there's a reason why you're seeing the stuff that you're seeing. But I will say this, yeah. Like I say, everyone assumes that this person is Bieber. We don't know this for certain because, I mean, who knows? There could be a name out there that no one's thinking about that would be just as impactful. And let's be honest, Diddy has had alleged to have had many homosexual relationships with a lot of big name A-list rappers too. So there's a lot of people that this could be, but I feel like, no, if this domino does drop, it's like you're not going to be able to put the genie back in the bottle.
Dude, it's Eminem. Okay, just everybody chill. It's Eminem.
And not to make light of it, but I swear to God, if it's gonna be like multiple names, there's gonna be a name on it like Jordan Peele. What the fuck? You know what I mean? Like it'll be something random.
I'm the only one I would believe.
Like right, but it would also be like, really? Like you wanted that? Is it a power thing or no?
Why would you invite him? He's such a hack.
Well, keep in mind, and I'll leave with this. Remember when Eminem did that movie, The Interview, and the opening bit was him coming out and revealing that he was gay, and it was everyone was like, "Oh, that's such a hilarious bit." It's like, what if it wasn't a bit? That's all I'm going to say. What if it wasn't a bit? I mean, like I said, I've heard some things about him. I've heard some things about Dr. Dre, another associate with him as well. I mean, like I said, a lot of people think that these rappers are like super tough and super like alpha. It's like, you don't really know the industry as well as you think you do. That's all I'll say there.
Well, that misogyny makes sense now. So
if you're gay like that, you got to be like super fucking hardcore, even more so, even in a black black community. You got to be even more so fucking militant. Fucking fuck me in the ass, baby girl. You know, you got to be like that.
And now Tupac releasing "Hit 'Em Up" makes way more sense.
Well, and yeah, there you go. But no, seriously, if Eminem were outed, would anybody be surprised? That's the thing. Especially recently, man. He's like got his nose up the butt crack of fucking the whole movement. So, yeah. DMX
all
was
the
real.
14, all the 14-year-old girls at my middle school that I went to when I was a kid, they'll be very surprised to learn that he's gay. Yes, yeah.
That's a shame. They're not surprised.
But I mean, like in 2004, if Eminem came out for John Kerry, and it was like, vote for John Kerry, yo, it'd just be like, really? It would eliminate his entire
that would have been way different
and facade and like persona, and it would just be like, what the fuck are you doing? And the fact that we don't do that anymore, or more people like in the media don't question shit like this, and it's just like, okay, am I like, I know I'm on drugs, but am I on drugs? Because like it just seems like everybody accepts this shit as like, oh, this is completely normal, and let me just keep consuming it and not ask questions.
Well, dude, he did the vote or die thing. You remember that?
Yeah, that was P. Diddy. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, I came in here rolling with big ups for DMX, so I just want everybody to know that dude, real rap.
He never took it in the butt.
No. Oh no.
Oh yeah. He has notorious songs about homo thugs. Go look up DMX's song.
Yeah,
his catalog. He ain't wrong.
But let's speaking of homo thugs, let's talk about
he
the
still
biggest
had my favorite. He still had, for what I just before he still has my favorite lyric in any rap song with the slap you with my dick, like slap you with my dick in the mic, shit, like whatever that was. It was the best. Man, he was gay, but he was awesome.
Well, speaking of homo thugs, let's talk about the biggest cinematic disaster of 2024, which has to be Joker 2. A movie...
I thought it was no. Challengers.
Oh no, this is far worse than Challengers because Challengers came and went, and yeah, it was a disaster. Really, like this one killed an Oscar winning franchise and smashed it to bits. I feel like that this film, especially considering the fact that the way
can you call something a franchise if it barely managed to squeak out or fart out a fucking second film? I don't think so.
Well, I mean it definitely won't be anymore after this one. Though. They're gonna,
fair enough.
So, but Joker is Joker 2, or if you want to be the douchey French way of saying it,
Folie à Dieu. Folie à Dieu.
Valere do.
But
it sounds like
whew.
it sounds like Gerard Depardieu rolled up and said, "Blow me." That's what that fucking title says. Anyway,
you were the Joker.
It sounds like if AIDS was a language, like this is pretty much.
Oh, hey now. Okay, dude, you don't like monetization much, do you?
No, I mean,
Okay.
like I said, I'm used to having Orange Hat on here. It's like monetization is not going to work when he's on the show anyway. So it's like, we'll go on here.
All right,
But,
fair enough.
No, this show here, this movie here, big time flop. I think domestically it did worse than Morbius, which is pretty disastrous. But
dude, everything I said in my video about this mother trucker, it was 100% on. Right? I was like, this thing is going to bomb worse than anything you've ever imagined, and it did. I talked about the fact that, I didn't think it was going to make $200 million global. Like, I actually think that could be real. Like, because it's going to fall off. It made $1.8 million today or yesterday or whatever on Monday.
Well, the problem is that this thing has like negative word of mouth that's completely killing any buzz. But no, it's like literally the buzz about this movie is just how absolutely horrible it is. That when people are finding out what actually happened in the movie, spoiler alert, just for the two people out there that might be listening to this, be like, oh, I don't want to hear spoilers. I haven't seen it yet. You might want to just mute this just for a little bit because we will talk about the spoilers. We have to talk about why this is terrible. But if you guys have noticed, Variety has been like dumping articles about this movie and the failures of this film for like the last few hours now. So essentially, you have two groups. You have Todd Phillips, who's trying to distance himself away from DC and Warner Brothers. You have Warner Brothers that's trying to distance itself away from Todd Phillips. So everyone's pointing the finger at each other about how this film ended up to be such a disaster and why there's such a negative reaction to this film by both critics and audiences alike. So I mean, it's not like this is one of these movies where the critics love it, but the audience hates it, or vice versa. Everyone hates this movie. So last month here, I guess last week technically, but Lady Gaga was blowing kisses to fans outside of the Chinese theater in LA when the film this dropped. Keep in mind, this is a movie that did not get a test screening, and I think there was a reason for that one here, but everything looked like, things were going to be fine. There was at least a subtle buzz for this movie, but then once the reviews start coming out, once the word of mouth came out about what happened to the movie, what happened to the character, everything here fell apart. Insiders say that the duo's glaring absence from the film is based on one of the biggest draws of the DC canon. I mean, we're all talking about Batman's biggest villain here. You are using that as your headline. But they knew something was wrong. Todd Phillips is now reportedly wanted to do nothing to do with DC. Apparently, he was fighting against doing a sequel to begin with. He didn't want to connect it to any kind of DC universe, which, I mean, that I understand, since the whole DC universe in and of itself is kind of a mess, especially with James Gunn trying to curve things out from everything Zack Snyder did. So they say one agent that's familiar with the director's unique carve out, allowing him to bypass any oversight and keeping the brands from gatekeepers. So it says here that although James Gunn has publicly supported the film on social media, Phillips distanced himself from DC. The animated title card sequence inside of the iconic movie in the opening few minutes became apparent that Phillips had just given DC the middle finger. There is no DC studio logo in this film, so both people are seemingly washing their hands of this. The first movie had some down on his luck mentally ill guy in a downtrodden city, maybe somewhere about $150 million worldwide, not $1 billion, which means that they had very low expectations for the first film. They didn't expect it to be the movie that it was. They were not expecting an Oscar to come out of that film, and it did. People showed up because the guy was the Joker. Here you have, I said Gunn was talking about this. What was it? Peter Safran, I believe it was, who was the guy running things at the time. David Zaslav's name has been thrown associated to this as well, but here's the reality of the situation. It's a $200 million movie production budget that does not include marketing at all. I'm pretty sure all that money went to the stars, by the way. It's going to be lucky to make about $200 million when it's all said and done, which means that you're probably looking at least $150 million loss for DC, a studio that cannot afford more losses when it's all said and done. So Then after that, the theme of this film is basically this was an FU to anyone who enjoyed the first Joker movie. You know, the people that made it $1 billion film, the highest rated R movie of all time until Deadpool Wolverine came out earlier this year. This is an FU to the fans. They systematically and quite literally raped and murdered the Joker as a character in this film. Everyone's talking about the whole shower scene where it was implied that, you know, the police officers did some things while, you know, Joker was stripped down naked. He was never the same guy after that. They broke him emotionally. They literally buck broke the Joker. Like, quite literally buck broke the Joker. That's what they did in this film. And then they murdered him in cold blood in front of everyone, literally killing the mythos of Arthur Fleck in this film. Like I said, these guys are trying to desperately take control of this whole situation, trying to get ahead of this. Phillips' team has been out there trying to relay the blame towards the studio, saying that he was trying to protect the movie from the studio from interfering. The studio wanted to do certain changes that he didn't want them to do. Went against doing test screenings, went against releasing this film at certain film festivals. Everything going wrong here. This one's gonna fall back on somebody's career pretty bad here. And the question is, and I guess I could start this one for you. I'll start with culture. Is culture here with us? Culture.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, let me ask you this: with
Okay.
everything that's been revealed about this movie over the last several days and everything leading up to this, who do you blame more for the failure? Do you blame Zaslav for greenlighting this and going forward with a movie that probably didn't need one, or do you just simply blame the creative mind of Todd Phillips, who has his fingerprints all over this movie?
Studio-wise, you have to roll it back to the previous team, which is Emmerich and Sarnoff, who got this thing moving to a point where there was no way to put the brakes on when Abdi and DeLuca showed up. So you can certainly point towards the studio. That's probably some of it. But the fact that they relied on a Joaquin Phoenix fever dream for the story, I think is probably the thing to blame. And then the fact that Todd Phillips decided to basically take it to the studio. I think he was very vindictive. I think that, you know, he didn't want to be put in the position he was with Hangover to make two subpar films after the one that he ideated and actually, you know, put together well, like what happened with the Hangovers. The Hangover 2 and 3 were complete garbage. This was destined to be garbage. I feel this guy has like a single idea that he can certainly focus on and perform. Everything after that's complete dog shit. So if you want to put it on anybody, it's got to be Phillips. And, you know, look, the fact that they wrote the checks, that I'm sorry, Zaslav didn't greenlight this thing. All he did was like finalize a deal that was already in place. Same thing with DeLuca and Abdi. Everything else after that, DeLuca and Abdi actually delivered on. This thing took too long to get done. And the fact that it completely was a tonal change, I think Rob will agree with me. This is a full 180-degree tonal change to an entirely different audience than the one that showed up for the first film. So it was, like I said, this thing was a masturbatory fantasy for Phillips to undo what he did in the previous film. Like the wrong people, I know some people have already said this, but the wrong people liking the film killed the second movie because they just, the TDS is that strong. Yep. And, you know, it is what it is. So put the blame firmly at the creator's feet because they wildly deviated from their original vision in the second film. And that would be Todd Phillips. Sorry. It's the truth.
Yeah. I think Neo Zoic has a question here. I'll shoot this one over to Rob. So, do you think the reason for the film's bombs that the Harley Quinn character is box office poison? And I will say this: we definitely pointed out that there was no. I don't think Harley Quinn being in the movie killed it from that perspective. The fact that they announced it was going to be a musical definitely raised some eyebrows for people very early on. It's like, why would you do a musical sequel to a film that wasn't a musical the first time around? Like that kind of made no sense to a lot of people. And then if you look at the film, it wasn't really much of a musical either. So,
well, I mean, let's go back to that. There are 1,000 ways to make a Joker and Harley Quinn story. The Bonnie and Clyde thing that everybody suggested is played out. It could certainly have worked, but it could be that way. I would have appreciated if they wanted to go more cerebral with it, right? Even dive deeper into the mythos of the character. You could have actually watched the Joker pull Harley Quinn into his psychoses because she was a psychologist. if they would have just set her up to be the person determining whether or not he was fit to stand trial, that would have been the point. And then the breaking point would have been where she helps him escape. And then he goes on to become a proper Joker. There's a whole series of other stories they could have done.
You know what your problem is, Culture? You're trying to essentially fix the problem and fix the character, while the creative minds, based on what we saw, were trying to tear down the character. And that's what
I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying there were 100 better stories that could have been done here. But this one was chosen specifically and then altered to make it really distasteful to the previous fans. So
Rob, you go ahead.
I don't think that the Harley Quinn character is box office poison. I think that the execution's been really poor in almost every single circumstance and situation.
Yes.
So what? I would agree that this is a complete tonal shift from movie 1 to movie 2. And they play this game of, oh, it's not really the Joker. It's not really Harley Quinn, even though you're using the character to sell fucking tickets, you fucking asshole. So it's fine. This is the Hollywood at its worst. And if you told me this, if you said, oh, they literally did everything to ruin this movie because they hated the people who made the first one a Oscar winner, a $1 billion box office success, I would have said that's ridiculous. That's culture war bullshit. That doesn't hold up to what the movie actually is. And I would have been wrong, because that's exactly what it was. There was no redeeming value. It was, hey, let's, the character's in this dark place because he's in prison. Let's give you this light of hope, and then let's take it away, and then let's have him raped and then killed, and then all of this stuff to just be like, oh, it's so nihilistic. It's where it's like, there are movies that have nihilism in them, but that ultimately show why that's not the right choice, why that's not the way to live. This doesn't do that. It's just like, no, the world is so awful that you shouldn't have any hope for anything, and again, that's me trying to elicit a message out of just the shit show of a sequel. The musical numbers weren't even performed well. I mean, I went over this with in our review on Friday night.
Right.
There was no, they weren't even trying to sing. It's like, yeah, we know we're putting on a show, but we're not really going to try. And Lady Gaga can sing. She can actually hit notes. She wasn't trying. So it was just like, who is this for? Oh, okay. It's obviously not for the people who bought tickets. So, I don't know what the takeaway could possibly be, other than these people that made this absolutely resented the success of the first movie, which kind of doesn't make any sense. For Todd Phillips, it's like, didn't it give you your biggest success of your career? You were known for Old School and The Hangover, and by the way, this is the bad side of winning Oscars, is that, oh, let's just take Joaquin Phoenix's great idea. He won an Oscar, so like let's just kind of write a blank check for him. And it's like there are no ideas there. And I think at a certain point they were like, oh, hey, we don't have a whole lot of ideas, but this production justifies itself based on the success of the first one, so we've got to put something out. And as soon as I heard it was a musical, as soon as Lady Gaga got involved, I was like, oh, okay, this is not going to be good, is it?
No.
And that's where we're at now. And now we have to deal with Joker rape, and there's already been so many memes and comic books based on that. And then it's like the people talk about, oh, the ending will be the worst part. It's like, it wasn't just the ending, it was literally like the last 35 minutes of the movie, where they were like, literally, they might as well just like spend that 35 minutes beating him to death and then pissing on his body and then looking at the audience being like, you did this. Like, that probably would have made I have to have more respect for him if they had did that rather than what they actually did in the film. Cider, what's your takes on the systematic destruction of the Joker as a character and as a movie?
I didn't really see either one of them. I didn't see the first one because it's not my speed.
You want my screener?
What?
You want my screener?
I mean, he's not going to want it now after everything we just said about the movie.
Oh, all right. That's fair.
No, I just I have this unique ability to go onto Twitter and scroll through, and then these nice people take these videos with their hats, and then I just see a clip, and I go, "Oh wow, I'm glad I missed that," and I keep moving. And yeah, so that first movie was not my speed. I'm just not into mentally ill guy gets gaslit into becoming a hero. And when I saw all those weirdos dancing on the staircase, I was like, okay, it's over. There's no symbology here. It's an Instagram filter now. I'll see you. And so when the second one came out and they announced Lady Gaga, it was pretty obvious what they were doing with it. So I understood immediately out of the gate what was happening with the Joker 2, because you don't portray a character like that and you do part 2. There's no part 2 for Taxi. There's no the Taxi Driver 2. You know, you don't come back and find out what happened to good old Travis. So the situation with the Joker is that he rode away in a police car, and that's the end of it. You want to dunk on the chuds? Never make another movie again. Stop releasing the DVD. Completely forget it ever happened. Put it in there with the Song of the South and the Disney Vault, and forget all about it.
That's a good
That's
idea.
how you get it. That's how you get rid of it. It's the only way. You cannot let it. You can't do a sequel. It makes the first one into a cult classic.
But by the way, cider screener is just basically just somebody sending you the link to a movie. Just in case you were wondering what the screener.
Oh, I'm not highfalutin. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
There's these nice people that drop movies on the ground, and that's how I find them. They're just movies laying on the ground. Who knew?
Yeah, screener is technically a physical disc you receive in the mail usually, but
Mhm.
And
But they've gone digital for like the last several years.
Yeah. We have digital codes now. Anyway. Oh, no.
Eddie, here's a question for you. He says, do you think that this movie would ruin both Phillips and Phoenix's career? I will say this. Phoenix has been getting a little heat because he just dropped out of that gay movie where apparently they wanted him to do some aggressive...
No, he was the one pushing it. He was the one pushing the aggressive. Yeah, I know.
Literally.
Yeah.
and into the cops.
Look, it's only gay if you back up into it.
Yeah.
That's what they call it, lean forward.
That's why you never go full Diddy. But what do you think of this?
No, dude, like what this movie, like I thank God Vladimir Putin gave me a link to his screener in order to watch this piece of garbage. But I'm just saying that, like, I'm so happy. Like, the first movie, I understand where the first 3 minutes in the movie, I realized this is a comic book movie. There's 5 characters in both movies that have anything to do, that are mentioned, that have anything to do with the Batman universe. This has nothing to do with Batman. This has nothing to do with Joker. This has nothing to do with any of that. This literally is a mentally ill man that they decided to make 2 movies out of, bashing the shit out of. And even to the point where, you know, we have him experience arguably the worst thing a man could ever experience and play it off literally as a joke. Because quite honestly, when he's laying there in the quiet in the dark and everything, I was really expecting Mark Hamill to pop in with his Joker voice and just start singing a tune also. Because we needed more symbolism and more I guarantee $120 million, $15 million of that dollars went to Karen Carpenter's fucking estate for that song, because that song is really expensive to sing. I like North to Roger Ebert. I hate this movie, and I'm so happy that I'm never gonna have to hear this movie about this movie in about a week. It's gonna be completely forgotten, thank God. The only thing that may happen, you're gonna see some douchebags who are probably still gonna try to dress up like the Joker on Halloween, and you get to point and laugh at him and call them incel virgin losers. I'm so happy that the first movie like gave me a main character syndrome to make me realize that, holy shit, I really am ruining my life. And I actually bettered myself. So when I watch this movie, I don't know who relates to the Joker 5 years later. If you're still relating to the Joker 5 years later, this Joker, Artie Flick, by the way, Art Flick, that's how you know this isn't the Batman movie. Art Flick. So,
there are masochists out there who will watch this and be like, "Hey, that's me. I want to
Right.
get knifed.
Mm-hmm. Right, like if
This
you're
whole-
still if you're still identifying with this dude, you've accomplished nothing in 5 years.
Yeah, watch
Nothing.
Falling Down instead, starring
Right.
Michael.
Yes.
Please. Yes.
Yes, cinematic
Okay.
greatness, Rob. Well done.
Watch Falling Down, watch Taxi Driver, watch something much better than this piece of garbage. I suggest you all go watch, and I know Rob doesn't like cartoons and all, but please, everyone, please go watch The Wild Robot while it's still in theaters.
Oh yeah, no,
Because
please, because it deserves
that movie is unbelievably good. It's essentially the combination of The Iron Giant and The Good Dinosaur from Pixar. If anyone remembers that movie, it kind of got thrown to the side, but it's essentially those two movies, and it's Oscar bait. And not like Oscar bait, like what? That's a Best Picture Oscar nominated movie. It's going to be that for movie of the year between The Wild Robot and Paddington in Peru. I got the rest of the year. Fuck the Joker. Fuck Megalopolis. That fucking that movie that you guarantee is going to be a fucking. It's going to be that movie that the high school English teacher puts on for a week, so that he doesn't have to go. He doesn't have to teach the class for a while. He just lets Francis Ford Coppola vomit out his fucking recorded play. Ugh. Anyway, so.
Look,
Yeah.
the moral of the story here is that Justice Smith
Fuck
is probably
Joker
the
too.
worst actor working in Hollywood today. And I think we can all agree on that one.
Justice Smith.
Yeah.
That's the takeaway here.
Yeah. He's in two of my films that are probably top 5 worst movies of the entire
Oh,
year.
hang on a moment. I have something for you, Jacob. I was given this by Judicon. Okay,
Oh, here we go.
there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the
So-
inward pass?
Yeah.
Why
I
are you
got my
giving
official
Jacob
card.
the end pass?
No,
I
no,
don't
no.
think you know how that works.
I was officially given this. I can use
He's
my end
certified.
pass.
Mhm.
I am. Me and Matt Walsh are both certified right now.
It's like he has
Just saying.
diplomat status.
No,
You know-
all I just have to say, Justice Smith is not an actor.
Mm-hmm.
He is a piece of cardboard. Oh, by the way, have you noticed?
If I have
that-
my F pass, I will find it right now so I can use it to describe what
But-
Justice Smith is.
He's not
But-
French.
But have you noticed? Oh, Juicy Smollier is back in the news
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
But anyway, shit. I was talking about something important. Rewind.
Justice Smith.
Yeah, he
Justice
sucks.
Smith being a homo.
Well, sure. But damn it, there was an important point there. Oh, did you guys see the recent imagery of Zendaya? Dude, she's like going bad super fast, like a piece of cheese out on the countertop. I was
Yeah,
like, damn, what happened to that girl? Right?
I
mean,
don't
her-
know. It's something about Hollywood and sucking your soul and selling your soul to.
I mean,
demons. Ages
dude,
your
her.
milk.
Have you seen her face lately?
Yeah.
It's like, she's like having like whole face injections because it's like, what's going on, girl? You're supposed to be a model. What happened?
Is Zendaya a model?
She was actually, and
Mhm.
she's also so she's like, well, we have to move forward on Euphoria because you can't be in high school stories, blah blah blah, whatever the fuck. And then the picture of her looks like seriously somebody puffed her face up with like marshmallows. The hell. Anyway,
Why would you?
Like that,
why would you Why would you actively make yourself older in Hollywood?
Like
Dude,
that
just-
actress from The Boys who had like the Michelin
Oh, she
Man
ruined
face.
it. Yeah, she had the buccal fat removal, right? And yeah, that's
That's
jacked
what a
up
lot
her
of them are
face.
doing.
I'm like, what are you doing? Dude, wait till
Bimbo-
you're like 60 to do that shit. The fuck?
The bimbo look.
They want to look like they're lizard overlords.
Mm-hmm. They want to
Dude,
look like the demons that possess them.
Oh, I look, I guarantee you that Zendaya's always been mid. No. She's been under mid. She's like
She's always been lizzed.
yeah, she's like that goop that gets behind your ear after you've been running a marathon, right? That's Zendaya. She's unattractive, probably smells.
I can't
The
relate to that.
only-
Whatever develops behind your ear during a marathon, but
Right, the
thank
only
you for
goop-
that.
Yeah, the only goop I remember behind your ear is there's something about Mary.
Yeah, and that was
No,
never mind.
not that. No. Well, you guys obviously have never run.
I mean,
in
her
your life.
boyfriend
What kind of
probably knows more about
marathon?
that.
Who the hell runs for fun?
Yeah, I'm a fat American. You're right. I don't run at all.
Oh, now I'm a fat American. I was just trying to give everybody a visual and a smell to go along
That
with what she
line
looks like.
from Back to the Future 3 is in my head like almost every single day of my life. Who the hell runs for fun? Like that. I love just the way he says it too. Like fun.
I can't remember his name. I can't remember his name, but he's a classic. He's like a classic Disney voice actor.
Oh yeah. Oh, I just that every day I say that to my cat. Who the hell runs for fun?
Well, I got a little exclusive for you here because this is something that I read on Saturday night, and it was the most like, look, we know that there's a lot of like lonely cat ladies in LA, especially in the progressive left, and at first
Nobody walks in
LA.
LA.
I wanted to make fun of this woman at first, but then as more I read this letter, I just thought to myself, like, lady, you need to find a date. Like, you really need to find it. So let me give you the backstory here of this one. This is Tatiana Siegel here. So, and keep in mind, if I go to Tatiana Siegel, just in case you guys didn't know, she is the executive editor of film and media at Variety. So she has a pretty high level position at the entertainment outlet.
Is she the one that tells that goofy guy at all the like red carpet premieres to ask, "Is this the gayest thing ever?"
I do not know. I'm not that deep into the lore, but if anyone can find that out, it'll be good on you. He was apparently tasked last Friday to watch Joker 2 opening night to kind of gaze at the fanboy reaction to the film, right? Because keep in mind, this is the same media who told you several years ago that people are going to go watch Joker, are going to go start mass shooting people because they're all violent and dangerous. And this film is going to incite violence. And then the next thing you know, like there's more fights at the Little Mermaid than there was at Joker 2. And that's a fact. So they sent her out there. And I just have to relay. I'm going to read this whole thing to you word for word. I'm just going to show you. This is the writings of a woman who desperately needs to get laid. I don't even mean that to be mean. I just mean that it's kind of a statement of fact. It's like, lady.
It's a health concern you have.
It's like, lady, like if you need a date, we'll find you a date. Like we'll help you.
We can call social services if you need it, honey. We can find someone for you.
Wait a minute. Now it starts to sound like Scientology. I mean, that's what happened with Tom Cruise. He needed a new girlfriend, so he got Najanine Bondiani or whatever the hell her name was. They went out and farmed her for him. Is that what you're talking about?
No, we'll get to exactly what I mean here. And by the way, this also just gives you a window of just how clown show LA is as in general here. But here's the title of her article here. It says, I watched Joker 2 at the opening night IMAX screening at the Grove. No, the fanboys were nowhere to be found. So here's how she starts this article. We're going to read the whole thing. During a Thursday editorial meeting, that'll be last Thursday, a Variety editor asked if anyone was willing to give up their Friday evening to write a piece covering the opening night of Joker 2, and the intermediate silence had with no takers. I reluctantly raised my hand. With Todd Phillips' previous Joker, I watched Joaquin Phoenix transform into the titular clown Prince of Darkness from a plum seat at the Toronto Film Festival during this North American premiere at a theater filled with journalists and VIPs. This will be a different experience with me sandwiched in the sweaty fanboy masses. Turns out I was wrong. So first of all, you had a preconception there of who was actually going to be at this movie, and then it turned out you were completely off because I guess you're only safe among journalists and VIPs. I'm noticing a trend here. But she continues, figuring that Friday night showing at the Grove would offer a good template of how Joker sequel was playing across the country. I don't know if that's a good template, if being honest with you, but I made my way to the ticket kiosk, and because you can't go to the box office, 20 minutes ahead of the showtime. Seating for the regular screening at this popular AMC theater was wide open. Only a handful of Joker seats had been claimed. How could that be? Would there be another 12 hours before the film's dismal D cinema score became known? It says, I asked the helpful attendant who didn't appear surprised. The Prime and the Dolby tend to sell out. The tickets are a bit more expensive if that's okay, the young woman suggested. As for whether she planned on seeing the film, she deadpanned, I was until I saw the reviews. It was almost as if that was a trend that was going to happen throughout the course of the weekend. But now she's in the theater. A Dolby screening was about to begin, and the theater was still playing. And again, I was shocked that tickets were still available. So I looked at the options to the IMAX screening in 45 minutes. Finally, I found a screening which was open, but the seats were limited, but still abundant. I would have preferred to sit near the exit, as this is a Joker movie after all, and the Aurora gunman dressed up as a deranged villain is still fresh in my memory. By the way, that's kind of like a fake news thing. Like, the Aurora Colorado shooter didn't dress up as the Joker. He had like this weird like pink hair because he was deranged. Obviously, he wouldn't kill a bunch of people. He wasn't dressing up as the Joker for the Batman. People just saw the mugshot and assume, oh, he's trying to be the Joker. It's like Joker has green. Like, that's not the Joker.
This is a look, and not only that, the only violence that happened during the couple of weeks that the Joker film came out was at a fucking Frozen 2 screening.
Yeah, like I said, this whole thing just gets worse as we snowball here. There was time to kill, so I approached patrons leaving earlier screenings as they stopped to grab their complimentary poster, which featured Phoenix and Liz co-star Lady Gaga as Hera Harley Quinn descending into a steep flight of stairs in an image reminiscent of the 2000.
This is much more riveting than the actual Joker 2 movie.
It is, and I've read the article a couple times, but I just want to mention something really quickly. Am I the only person that thinks that the wrong Phoenix died?
I was literally saying that halfway during the movie. Like, it was in my mind. Like, in my mind, I was literally like envisioning Stand By Me, and I was like, did the wrong brother die?
Did he was the good-looking one. Yeah, he was the good-looking one.
Yeah, he didn't have the hair lip, to be fair. But, you know, I do think that Joaquin Phoenix is a talented actor. Unfortunately, he's made a lot of really poor choices lately, but I do think he's grown since Gladiator. Remember Gladiator? He was barely
he hasn't grown. He hasn't grown, dude. This guy has slayed the last 2 films he's been in. Rob, did you see Napoleon? Holy shit!
I did. Yeah, I want to see the director's cut, but I doubt it's any better.
Well, dude, I don't have 7 hours to waste on that bullshit. The fuck.
It's not a great movie, so you're not missing anything there.
Yeah.
And then look, I mean, you're gonna get Gladiator 2. Are you pumped?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
No, I'm not.
But anyway, so 6 USC students.
Can you imagine the rape in that cooking movie?
Oh my. The only good thing in that is going to be Denzel Washington, which means it's going to be like 8 minutes of good film. That's going to be it.
I was literally going to make a joke about Greece there, but then like Rome would catch us. Never mind.
They'll give him a dance number. Don't worry. It went so well for the Joker movie. They'll give him a dance.
Wait a minute. What? They're going to make Denzel tap dance? Dude had a stroke. Don't do that to that guy.
Yeah. They'll just put the Wire team on him. It'll be fine. They put a fat guy back there doing all the dance moves. It'll be fine.
I like to sing about the moon and the June and the spring.
Exactly. You could see the Emperor up there doing that dance. You know? The what is that? The Charleston Chew or whatever that thing is with the knee wiggly thing.
Wah wah,
yeah, that. Yeah. Right in the middle of the movie, it'd be great.
He does like in between, like Joaquin Phoenix's head is going around like those old Betty Boop cartoons, like Louis Armstrong's head. I'll be glad when you dead, you rascal, you, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
We had movies as an art form for 80 years. It had a good run. It's okay. To be honest, and it's over. It's over, guys.
Rob. Okay? Rob. Come on, dude.
Anyway, back to the article here. 6 USC students had just exited the IMAX version and seemed eager to share their impressions. It's no Megalopolis, one young man.
Can I say something? I heard the same. I heard the same thing in my showing of Megalopolis. There was some community college kids in the back, like, "Oh my god, this is fantastic!" And I wanted to punch their lights out.
At first, it was unclear whether that was meant to be a compliment or insult. It was an insult. Then he clarified that he loved Megatron. Yeah, sure he did. Matthew's friend Grace said that she came for Gaga and wasn't disappointed. It was definitely funny. I'm not sure if it was intentional, but I had a laugh, she added. Oh my god, these people.
Yeah, that one scene is just a real knee slapper.
Mm-hmm. Another young man named Landon wearing apropos T-shirt that read "Only anarchists are pretty" noted that the Darth fanboys noted the Darth of the fanboys at the screening. I didn't say I didn't see like any comic book people like Marvel or DC. Right? He says that the first Joker had a lot more wink wink and like this little Bruce Wayne, but they didn't have that in this one. Right? It was like the demographic you expect to show up. Landon explained, but it makes sense considering that this Joker is just as much as talking as Lincoln. It's basically the same movie as Lincoln. He said these reviews don't bode well for a $200 million movie that needs to attract all four quadrants. Speaking of the budget,
whoa. They didn't even call her Harley Quinn in the movie.
Mm-hmm. They called her Lee a lot, didn't they, Eddie?
Yeah, they called her that at the end of the credits.
As in Harley Quinn.
But that's not. That's what I mean. It's not a. That's what I mean by it not being a Batman movie.
I kept rewinding in this. Now, mind you, I've seen this in multiple locations, obviously. But when I reverted back to the screener, I went back and was like, they really didn't lean into the Harley Quinn thing. It was basically Harley Quinn and name only, and I was like, this is just absolute disdain for like the source material. I was like, you could not have run away more from what you were trying to cover. I was like, this is insane.
Well, Jacob, are you going to bring up the runaway with Todd? You going to bring that up?
We're going to get to that here in a second. I want to finish with this girl. It said these reviews don't bode well for a $200 million. I just read that. It said, speaking of the budget, Matthew said he didn't see the massive capital outlay translating on screen.
Nobody did. Okay, there was not $200 million on the screen. You gave fucking Todd 20, you gave fucking Joaquin 20, and you gave that bitch 12. Okay? And, she didn't even bring her voice when she showed up.
She intentionally went out of her way to sing badly.
Yeah, I mean, it was insane. And then
he was somehow still worse.
It was. And here's the other thing, right? 4 quadrants? Fuck you, it's an R-rated movie. Yeah. Okay? You're not going to get 4 quadrants. The fact that Daredevil and Wolverine, Deadpool and Wolverine did
that other red guy in leather.
The other red guy, right. But anyway, Daredevil and Wolverine did it. That was a like out of place moment in history, and like parents kind of sucked it up for like their 12-year-olds and older, so that they could see a movie that was going to be in the cultural zeitgeist, right? So like the hip parents did that, to the detriment of probably the kid's future, but that's another conversation. That's the only reason you had 4 quadrants of that movie. There is no other way you do that with an R-rated film. This film is certainly musical. Not. It wasn't a musical. This was okay. This is a musical in name only. I don't care if there were 16 fucking songs in this thing and over 20 on the soundtrack. None of them were good. They interrupted every single good segment of this movie, and I'm cursing a lot tonight. The actual film kept interrupting itself mid-scene to go to another scene that was not in any way connected. There was no plot through line. I mean, I'm offended that this is even called a movie, because it wasted my time like 3 times. I had to watch 2 hours and 20 minutes of it to legitimately watch a film. And then I had to watch all the other times through just to be able to like make a cogent argument about why this was terrible. Anyway,
I thank God that Putin gave me a link to his screeners.
I need to hang out with you. Apparently.
He handed a bunch of casino ads in the middle of it. It was fantastic.
Oh yeah.
I was laughing the whole time.
The guys always look so happy.
They had LeBron flexing while Joker's in the crying in the cell and everything. By the way, I love the ending. By the way, because
can you imagine if there was like legitimately like a casino ad playing right?
I wish there was. It would have been hilarious. I laughed so hard when I saw LeBron at the end of the movie. I got LeBron James flexing over a dead Joker while the other guy is laughing like Desi Arnaz in the back. I'm like, what? This is hilarious.
We're only like halfway into like this article here. We still got the best part.
Well, I will say she is long-winded. I will say that.
Oh yeah.
Talk about being a woman.
Yeah, you realize later on that none of this has nothing to do with
okay, so there's a term for that. It's called tangent-splaining.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Rick does that every time he's on the show.
Yeah, I haven't seen Rick in a minute.
Yeah, that's probably a good thing. She said they gave they kind of gave Phillips a blank check. He said this cost $200 million and it takes place in like 4 locations. And I was like, where did all the money go? Gaga and Phoenix probably, and like jail cells. So here's where she starts monologuing here, and this is where it really just starts getting sad. It says, as I made my way to seat F11, first of all, no one needs to know what seat you sat in. It's not like no one's going to go to the Grove in LA, be like, oh my God, the woman for Variety sat right here in this very seat.
All the fanboys are sniffing the seat. Oh my God.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you right now, this lady does not have fans.
Yeah. It says, I surveyed the crowd and immediately questioned if I was in the right theater. The vast majority of the patrons were couples, straight, gay, young, middle-aged, holding hands, cuddling for a film that you would soon feature an infamous psycho bashing the judge's head with a gravel till brain matter runneth over the stand. In fact, I haven't seen many couples in the theater since the opening screening of How to Lose a Guy in 10... Did that movie come out like 25 years ago?
All right, I hate this woman. I'm sorry.
I promise
Holy
you,
shit.
I promise you, she has 6 cats.
Oh no, we actually did this on MSK show. She has at least 2 cats, and yes, she dresses them up. So no one was dressed up as like this is what really made me mad.
Can I ask you because like maybe other people other than me don't know what MSK is. What are you talking about?
The MSK is our guy. He does literally streams every single night. So if you have he's been on the show a couple of times here, but he does a whole bunch of content over on his own channel.
You should actually promote him, like not like just throw it out there.
Yeah, we can promote him on a different day.
He's been on.
I thought it was BTK. I thought it was BTK. And I was like,
wait, Jacob, is that how you promote me?
No, I don't promote you at all. That's
it
works.
Promote yourself, buddy.
Who are you again?
Why are you here? No. No. Here's the part.
200 followers.
Here's the part that made me mad right here. It says, no one was dressed up as this Joker. Only the masks were cloth COVID type masks. So in LA right now in 2024, there are still people in the theater wearing COVID masks. In 2020, it's been 4 years and they're still.
I ran across an elderly couple that was doing that in the grocery store the other day. And I was like, no, you just deserve whatever happens. If a deer runs out in front of you, you deserve that too. I'm done. You're begging for it.
So this is the best part of the whole thing right here. She goes on to say that the couple to my right, 2 men moved into 2 empty seats to my right after the trailers ended. About a minute into a movie, another couple, male and female, arrived and wanted their rightful seats. They stood directly in front of me, arguing, resulting in me missing most of the animated intro from the movies.
I caught my eye as soon as when I started laughing. So you got your arguing with your girlfriend. There's some peeved off 40-something that reeks of cat piss behind you that is just seething that she can't see the Pixar animation.
Can you sit down, please? I'm trying to watch the film.
It gets worse.
Amazing.
Once the heterosexual couple nestled into their seats, they started getting busy, really busy, kissing, talking, ignoring the movie altogether. At one point, they were spooning in their seats, fully declined, and the woman and the man's hands stretching into my territory.
Whatever couple this is the couple that has sex on a plane. This is the couple that goes out of its way against first class just to have that laid out seat.
This poor lonely cat lady is like sitting there watching a Joker movie, and then all of a sudden these 2 people just start making out and dry humping right next to her. She's trying to watch the film.
The best part is the whole time they're dry humping, there's Lady Gaga on the screen. Why do birds suddenly appear?
Oh my God. It said throughout the screening, still not a full theater, was filled with constant movement. People coming and going to the bathroom, to the concession stand. People were stretching their legs amidst the 2-hour and 19-minute runtime. A couple of walkouts ensued. It felt busier than LAX, where I had just landed hours earlier. Despite all of the bustle, this is the lowest energy crowd I have witnessed in some time. No cheers, no laughter at a few jokes. Definitely no singing along with any of the very recognizable tunes. Like
why can't this be like Rocky Horror Picture Show?
Lady.
Right.
Ahead of the screening, the gay couple to my right agreed to give me their full take of the film after Joker ended. But the second that the first end credits roll, they made a beeline for the exit, along with most of the people in the theater.
They're like, ugh. She worked for who? Variety? Ugh.
It's amazing. It's
Runs
amazing.
off.
Only about 5 patrons watched the movie. See 100 of the names who toiled to this ambiguous project shot there in their hometown. I made my way to the only person who looked like a potential fanboy, had an empty bucket of popcorn in his hand. As the lights came up, again I misjudged. Tadahishi was, I assume that's like
She thought, wait, that's discrimination. She thought the Asian was the fanboy. What a
Yep.
whore!
Tadashi.
Tadashi. Oh, there we go. Was not a self-described fanboy by any stretch. He said he just liked the first film and showed up for another outing of unabashed nihilism. Long but enjoyable was his overall critique, but he's too struggled with his fellow moviegoers and their lack of engagement. There were people next to me whispering, talking, hugged up, kissing, and I was like, "Why are you spending $50 plus concessions to come here and watch?" He asked. And I was literally.
This guy used to do ritual. This guy used to do rituals in front of Godzilla Zero. It's like
that. I mean, literally, the judge is hitting the back of the head, and then as soon as it's done, they're whispering. And then Joker Harley Quinn told a joke, and then his neighbor, his seat neighbor, kissed her, and he was like, "What is happening next to me right now?" So apparently, people at the Friday screening of this Joker 2 movie in Los Angeles were just going there to dry hump each other. They did not care one iota about anything that was happening in the film itself.
I'm sorry.
Went there to film their OnlyFans.
Those people are way more relatable than the people that went alone or the person writing this article. That's all I'm going to say because, I was a teenager once and, you go seriously, the movies are a perfect place to go to just like ignore what's happening on screen and annoy the people around you. Having said that, I am a cinephile and I do love, but fuck this movie. So that's kind of where I'm at with this, where I hate the lady that wrote this article. She sounds insufferable. And you know what? Good for those people for at least getting something out of a dark theater.
Bye, Jacob.
Yeah, see ya.
That was great. That was a thing that happened right there.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Hostile takeover.
There he is.
There he is.
I went and I saw that Rocky movie where he came out of retirement. You remember that where he was like really old and he had to punch that black kid in the face.
Rocky
and everyone...
Balboa.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. I went and saw that one.
I love that movie.
With a gal Jessica. Yeah, that's her name. And I don't remember. The only thing I remember is the premise of that movie and the 3D PS5, PS4, PS3 graphics of Rocky punching that black kid in the face and everyone cheering. That's all I remember from that. The rest of the time we were making out. But I looked up at the screen and there was like some PS3 game of Rocky punching some black guy. And I was like, I don't need to know anymore. I don't need to know anymore.
Hey, you guys have not commented
the whole
on
time.
my amazing
Just imagine.
Wow.
Just imagining that, because you just said that you're making out during the time right after that. That's when he's giving his emotional speech. You gotta be a fighter. You gotta be a tough. You gotta stand up for your. Like, so Cider's just making out while this is going on. This is encouragement by Rocky, dude.
Apparently, you gotta fight that tongue battle there. That mouth hockey. You
Getting
gotta win
strong
that.
now.
You get your tonsils knocked down, you gotta knock hers down. Can't you understand?
We're starting to hurt bombs, baby. Hurt bombs.
Later, you got to take a lesson from Karate Kid and sweep the leg, dude.
Right.
So
nailed
this is
wax on, wax off.
Well, I mean, maybe she isn't into that, but whatever. If you need to clean the playground, I get you.
Whatever.
Please.
That would be perfect.
Yeah, there you go.
So this is Miss Siegel here, and all I'm saying is that she literally wrote an article for Variety, which I'm pretty sure she got paid lots of money to do. But she wrote an article
She's
about
not
Variety,
bad looking for a cat lady.
how she went to
what?
The movie
She looks like-
screening.
Dude, she's had at least 6 botched nose jobs. Are you looking at the same image I am?
I'm used to looking at Nancy Pelosi's kids, so she looks like one of her kids.
Oh, well, sure, if they had their face hit by a shovel 7 times, but okay.
Yeah, those genetics are pretty hard to get rid of.
Yeah.
Speaking of Judy Collins, send in the clowns.
Yeah. By the way, I want to say the first movie actually had a pretty good soundtrack because there are a number of songs
Are
I
we-
actually listened to because of it, or was
Yeah,
aware
no,
of because of it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyway,
Well, did you appreciate the Carpenters in this latest film, along with the Sonny and Cher look?
no.
I
There
hated
was
Oh, by the
that.
way,
no
is
musical
she
inclusion.
actually did she start out as a lady?
No, she is born
Her?
a woman. I did
Oh,
make sure,
okay.
in fact,
All right.
that she was not, transforming. But
Okay.
she is
Culture.
born a woman.
I'll
What?
give you like a neat like a cheat code for this. Okay.
Okay.
It's
Up,
it's-
down.
No. To always
left, right.
no, when you're hunting trans, right? When you're hunting them, like find them, like where's Waldo? It's the brow distance. Men and women
Oh.
have a brow distance, and you can spot it from a mile off. Even
Cider
Blair
man.
White, we just have a different brow distance. That's it.
So you feel
Cider-
like you feel
Cider's
like
noticed
that,
this because Cider's noticed this because he watched he watched Predator a lot, and so
Yeah.
he's like what's his name, Gossett Jr. Like, I feel the sweat going down my face.
so
Look,
so
I
know
you're
can
what
smell
you
it.
guys
I
do.
can smell it.
so you're a big believer in the what do they call it?
Phenotypes?
No, yeah, well, yeah,
Adam's
for sure.
apple, yes, he's a very big believer of
Well,
Adam's
yeah.
apple.
Well, yeah. Well, apparently there's going to be some of that in Snow White. But anyway, yeah.
Silence! I kill you!
I was just going to say you're a big believer in physiognomy.
No.
Probably. I'm too high to know what that is at the moment. So
Fantastic. Wow, I wish I was there.
Look, the entire reason why we did this segment is that if anyone wants to go on a date with Nerdigan's older sister, just give her a call.
That's who it is.
Wow, that's mean. Man, you guys are not nice to your friends. I think
It's the hair. Wait a minute, I want to see if I have better
These
hair. than
people
she
are
does.
not my friends. Okay, I just do a
No.
show weekly with them.
No, I don't want to identify with these people.
Wait. You're not Nerdigans. Why were you speaking there?
There.
Anyway, so yeah, please somebody phone
Nailed it.
Nerdigan's older sister.
Boom.
Flawless.
Bam, baby. I'm good looking too. Holy shit.
Yeah, you are kind of handsome. What is that?
it's like Tatiana's in here with us right now.
Yeah.
Can I bring
Please
out
do
my
not
cats?
Please do not
Yeah.
blow up this man's ego.
No,
He does not need
Please,
the boost.
do not show your cat. Do not
Hey,
show
you know-
your cat.
You know, when he goes full hair, that's very
Full
handsome.
hair.
look.
Full hair.
Full hair.
DK says nothing heel turns on this podcast.
That's all we are, baby. Well, at least when I get here, Rob is too balanced and like dude, you're way too chill.
I smoke a lot of pot.
Okay.
I'm
Well, Cider does, but
incredibly,
he's not.
yeah,
Half
I'm
the
incredibly
people on the
animated
show
when
are
I'm
high
sober.
right now.
It's
Yeah, but-
annoying.
The problem.
But Cider basically is a plant at this point.
Yeah.
All right. Well, on top of this, Disney's lost a lot of money last year
Oh
on the
God,
MCU.
yes.
So, yeah, here's an article that came out yesterday. So apparently, Disney lost almost $300 million
Dude.
last year on Ant-Man 3 and the Marvels alone. That's just
Yo,
two films.
dude, not only did you hit this home run, but like, dude, fucking Tim Pool was covering the same shit, dude. Crazy stuff, bro.
Yeah, so last year was not a good year for the MCU. Their entire plan blew up in his face because remember, they started last year under the guise that, everyone's going to love Jonathan Majors. He's going to lead us to the promised land. He's our new Thanos. And they built the entire future of the MCU around him. Then the movie flopped. No one saw Ant-Man 3. It lost money. And then he got arrested in Brooklyn and the rest is history, right? So only months after that, the Marvel's film, which had been delayed about 2 years before it eventually came out. It was technically supposed to be Captain Marvel 2, even though that didn't end up seeing the light of day.
Does he know he's muted?
It was
Oh,
Brie
thank
Larson
God! I
and-
thought it was me.
Yeah, though it was Brie Larson and a couple other women who I don't think has acted in anything since that film. That was also another massive loss. The Marvels is actually the lowest drawing MCU film ever. So it actually has a record now for the lowest drawing MCU crap of all time. And
So
this was-
far.
so far, right? And here's where we're at right now with this. Brie Larson's probably never going to do another Captain Marvel movie, so she's gone. Jonathan Majors is also gone. And the plan blew up in their face so spectacularly, they had to bring back Robert Downey Jr. to play Doctor Doom and pretend like everything with Iron Man didn't actually happen and move forward with nostalgia bait, because that's the only thing that draws for them right now. So this is where we're at. Now, they got a little bit of a reprieve with Deadpool and Wolverine, which made about $1.3 billion so far. But the reality is, if you look at what's coming up next, it's probably going to be more hurt for Disney down the line, because you got this Captain America 4 movie coming out with Anthony Mackie. So you're doing Black Captain America. They've already sunk in about $375 million into that movie production alone, because they've literally reshot it twice. So that's how much they've blown into that movie. And then let's be honest, it's Black Captain America. How much of a draw is that really going to be? Then they got Thunderbolts coming out right after that, which, it's basically Marvel's version of Suicide Squad, and who really truly cares at the end of the day on that. Blade is a mess. Don't ask anyone about Blade. That movie is a
No, it's over.
disaster.
Blade's done. Blade's done.
Mm-hmm.
It's done. Done.
They lost. Didn't they just lose another director or something?
Well, no, I know. I'm just going to tell you that it's over. That film is officially like vaporware now. It does not exist.
Yeah, they haven't officially made the announcement that it's scrapped, but pretty much everyone is saying that movie is not going to happen. So,
no.
And this is what they have here. This is the end for Phase 5.
Phase dive? Yeah, Phase dive's over. Phase Boar's done. Can I just say, you guys are way too mean to my girl Brie. Brie is a.
You mean Plank?
Brie is a normal person. Okay. She just is. She's not.
She's not cheesy.
Being, sure. She's just a normal person. She's not there to be, a normal Hollywood person
living in captivity.
We're just normal men.
No, I mean, she is a normal human. She is not a Hollywood type in any way.
We're just innocent men.
She's been put upon.
The problem with Brie is that from everyone who's known her, she doesn't have the most pleasant personality, because like I said, it's not a thing of, the incels are out to get me and the right wingers. It's like people who would otherwise politically be on your side cannot stand being in the same room with you, which is a big reason why this is probably going to be your last MCU project to date, because you haven't exactly made very many friends, with the exception of Samuel L. Jackson.
She is a victim of her team.
And that's only because he likes white bitches.
No, she is a victim of her team. She is a lovely personality. She's a sparkling conversationalist, and she's got a pleasant singing voice. And she should have been given the role of Harley Quinn in The Joker 2. And I
retarded? So I know you're not retarded. But what are you, Down syndrome?
That wasn't very nice. I'm just saying, he would have brought a lot more to the role than Lady Gaga.
A lot more wood.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hey,
a big forest of talent.
They needed more wood in that film. Let me tell you, and not in the jail cells anyway. I'm just saying.
There's a word that comes to mind when Brie Larson, comes up. It's haughty. I mean, she just comes off as a bitch. Maybe she's not. Maybe she's a nice person.
You mean
that's how she comes off.
You mean haughty? Not
haughty.
Yeah, not haughty.
Oh, Haughy.
Yeah. You need to be more specific, because
not HAWTY. Haughty.
I'm just Howdy.
Well, maybe this is Brie Larson's baby face run. Maybe she'll start putting more push-up bras in her future films, and then she'll start completely turning around on the 18 to 34.
That's not the push-ups where she needs them. She needs push-ups on the backside. Okay, it's just I'm just saying.
Yeah, maybe BBL Larson. Maybe that's her next.
No. Have you ever, dude? There's a smell. Like if people get a BBL, there's a stank that comes with that.
Yeah, it's almost like putting cement in your behind to have a Kardashian butt. It's probably not.
Yeah, dude. And then wiping becomes an issue. So don't dive into that, ladies, because dudes ain't gonna.
You could be like Nicki Minaj, just not be able to sit for like the remainder of your life because
Yeah.
you just stretch yourself.
and your claim to fame is going to be a fucking She-Hulk thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, don't do that.
But yeah, I mean, this is pretty much a story here. Marvel or Disney Studios or Marvel Studios, whatever you want to call it here, they only essentially recouped about 35% of the money that they total investment into both Ant-Man 3 and the Marvels. So, like I said, last year was a massive loss for them financially. They're getting a little bit of a win with Deadpool, but then again, if you look at 2025, they could be right back with another massive loss when you see what's coming out.
No. They're going to have 3 consecutive losses. Because I'm really not like the Suicide Squad Thunderbolts thing is going to be a trash fire. I don't give 2 shits about Black Captain America, which is a fake Falcon Cap, whatever you want to fucking call that. Nobody's going to be invested in that. And then they have 2 television products that everybody is going to like scratch their eyeballs out over. The most important one being Riri Williams is fuck Iron Man.
Can we agree with this right here? The MCU Disney Plus shows are dead. Like they're dead. Like they never actually got started. I mean, like WandaVision was a decent show, all things considered, even except for the ending, the moral reasons and stuff like that. But I mean, it was a decent start. Everything since that has just been absolute garbage. Like no one cares about these MCU Disney Plus shows at all. And they've only gotten significantly worse. Like I know Agatha is now doing worse than the one before, and then let's not forget Echo Mania, that whole disaster. And then, like I said, you got Ironheart coming out afterwards.
Jacob, you are so wrong. Agatha was cheap. It didn't cost them as much money.
Mm-hmm. It was low risk.
8 million an episode. It's fine.
Yeah, all these Disney Plus shows are dead. Like all of them. I mean, all of the.
Dude, I got a video dropping tomorrow. Just you got Willow himself, like Warwick Davis, actually calling out Disney as bigots.
Didn't surprise me.
Yeah, so it's like
good.
But it's this weird place that we exist in where we're going. Disney Plus was a bad idea. Like if you were gonna like go through all the new studio streaming services and go bad idea, Disney Plus was the worst. You had the most monetizable library of content in the history of man, and you decided to launch your own streaming service that you can't even justify keeping shows on.
How do you lose $1 billion showing your own content? Like as a business person, how do you even justify like, here's what we're going to do. We're basically going to show everything that we already own, and we're going to lose billions of dollars in the process and make that make sense to somebody.
Well, it doesn't.
It's the magic of Disney.
But they acquired Fox's entire catalog and did fuck all with it.
I just
$71 billion for that purchase, too.
which is almost 3 times what it was worth.
I just want to say this is why I say that the MCU ended with Infinity War, not Endgame. Thanos won. That's it. It was all over with. Thanos won. That was the end of it. Everybody went home. They felt real bad, and that was the end of it. So, because what happens in Endgame is the most stupid thing possible. Tony, they had look from just outside of it, OC, right? Out of character. You know, you're looking at it as just the dude signing contracts. Tony could have snapped his finger, right? What's that?
No, I just saw a video. Lizzo lost a fucking shitload of weight.
Yeah. That's going around.
Trey and Matt literally bullied her into losing weight.
That's right.
How about that?
Good. Bitch is fat as fuck. She needs to drop about 85,000 more pounds.
85,000. She's the weight of a small star.
But she also needs to hope that her name isn't attached to one of those Diddy parties as well. So I mean, that's probably another thing.
Might be why she's losing weight. She didn't run.
Right, witness protection. That's how you lose weight now. That's the way you lose weight nowadays. Getting some witness protection.
I need to lose weight so I could properly run from the feds when they come.
Yeah, fit to the body scanner.
Look. You guys are too optimistic. Bitch was never invited to a Diddy party.
That's true. Okay. Not cool enough.
I'm just saying. But, I mean, the other ladies were not wanting to scissor that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what got her in trouble in the first place.
Oh, I forgot about the hot dog.
Yep. You had it
That's-
blocked out of your memory there for a minute, then we brought it back.
That fucking smorgasbord snatch of hers.
But yeah, they had the perfect way to introduce all that Fox stuff. Tony's been paranoid. Really neat way to just snap his fingers, and guess what? All the Marvel things can just be there now. You don't even have to really explain it. The audience gets it.
Okay. This is my girl right here.
So like Scott Pilgrim's like one of those things you have on repeat? Or
Yeah,
what?
I fucking love
Yeah.
Scott Pilgrim.
Ah, there we go. All right.
Yeah.
I will
Memory
say
updated.
that, out of
okay,
all the
first of all-
studios, Disney has been the poorest when it comes to home media releases.
Dude, they
I mean,
ruined
they're
it.
all bad at it. To be Paramount,
Yep.
who obviously is getting sold now to Skydance, by the way, has done a great job this year at getting their Paramount presents releases out with Chinatown, with Once Upon a Time in the West.
Yeah.
Even The Conversation has a great release out this year. So.
Okay. So look, she's beautiful. I don't care what anybody says.
I mean,
she has her moments in terms of being attractive.
Mhm.
Her personality just, at least in the last couple
You
of years,
don't
has
know.
not
Have you
been
met
great.
her? Have you met her?
No. I'm just saying in interviews. Like,
Okay,
I'm
so-
not talking personally.
So do you want me to introduce you to her?
No, we're the same
Okay.
age, but no, thank you.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying. I mean, I could get you an interview. So you're
She looks
turning
like a
down
nice. She looks
an
like a nice
interview.
Midwestern girl. The problem
She
is
is.
that you have to.
She
the
was a
problem is
nice-
in Hollywood. You got to accept a whole lot of ridiculous stuff, and I'm pretty sure she just started believing the ridiculous stuff she had to accept.
I don't think she believed it at all. I think her team tried to redirect her trajectory, which is why we ended up with the ridiculous YouTube channel. But she bled into the idea that maybe if I work out in front of a bunch of dudes, I'll be like appreciated more. And a lot of dudes appreciate her more.
Look, if Brie Larson did some squats and just talked a lot less,
She does.
She would be much more.
You have
favorable
not watched.
than,
You need to watch her channel, dude. She does squats. I'm just saying.
Well, she's
And
heavy
yoga.
weights or something.
And yoga. What she doesn't need to do is show
New
her
ending
feet.
video.
I wasn't thinking that.
Yeah, dude. No, as long as she's not showing off the water skis she calls shoes or feet.
No,
I think we're good.
Brie should just be a VTuber. Brie should just do VTuber and then go on Twitch. Or,
Look, I'm going to tell you right now, ankle up. She is a desirable Hollywood starlet.
let's not go that far.
It's those Peggy Hill feet of hers that get in the way of her actually achieving what she needs to.
That
Dude.
reminds me of don't look
Dude.
at Megan Fox's feet or toes or nails or
Oh,
whatever.
wait, you mean her toe thumbs?
Yes, there you go.
Yeah. No, I'm just going to say that as long as you don't look at her feet, you weren't going to imagine the fact that she could have saved the entire Titanic. Okay, you're good. You're good there. I mean, Leonardo DiCaprio would not have died, or wouldn't have had to show up at any of the Diddy freak off shows or parties.
I'm really weird about saying that out loud though, because hearing that Quentin Tarantino is now going to put her in something just to show off what feet of hers.
But no, that's the opposite. If she has ugly feet, he doesn't want her in movies.
Mhm.
He's a feet
Okay,
guy.
I apologize. I have said bad words tonight.
On my show.
Your show is full of bad words.
Mm-hmm. Then I
I'm
go
not
on your
adding
show
them.
and make jokes about black people,
No,
and all of a sudden
we-
I get kicked off of the show.
I love black people. Show
Mhm.
me the money. Anyway, no, but
He has the
honestly,
card.
I do actually. I see right here.
Yeah, see, I love black people.
That's right. Okay. So anyway, dude, I'm never getting rid of that. Dude, did you see the thing that Judicon got me? Do I have it here? This is important.
Sure it is.
Turn into a knockboxing video now.
Hang on. I'm not boxing shit. Oh, hang on. Oh, I don't know where it is.
That's fine. You're not holding up the show in any way, shape, or form.
I wasn't actually. This show's been held up for a long time, and it wasn't me. What else were we talking about? Anything fun?
Yeah, you know who else is cute as a button? Who has literally done not a single thing outside of the MCU? Remember this girl? Remember when they cast her to be Miss Marvel? And then literally hasn't been in anything at all since.
You will not do this to Iman Vellani. She's
I like her.
Best thing that
Is that her name?
Iman
Yes.
Vellani.
Okay.
Yeah. She is the best thing that happened to Disney Plus. She's also the best thing that happened to the Marvels movie, and that's a tough fucking thing to carry around on your shoulders. Because damn,
Yeah. Just like literally breaking your back and trying to carry the weight of like a dead franchise.
and she's just a legitimate human being. Okay, so like I was trying to give that like notoriety to Brie, but I think even Rob, who's like cynical and sour about the world, would probably say that
you got beef with Rob. Did you guys need to go sell this in the back?
No. This is a friendly banter. I like Rob, because yeah. But she's nice. She talks to the audience nice. She talks to people nice.
It's because Hollywood hasn't sucked out her soul yet. That's why. Like she still maintains like a piece of humanity. By the way, there's MSK. That's the person who I refused to promote earlier, but there he is over there.
Oh,
but
hey,
yeah,
she's MSK. You were not promoted at all. You need to go back and watch like 20 minutes ago. I think Jacob was making
an hour ago.
Yeah.
Is it weird I had a dream like this like maybe 6 months ago?
But MSK, I'm just going to tell you, Jacob made sure nobody would ever watch what you do during like the show earlier. Just going to say, that was the kind of love he showed.
And to answer the question, no, she's from Canada, so no, that would be probably her cousins, but not her directly. So there you go.
Hey, well, I mean, look, if you can't hang that around her neck, I'm just saying. Speaking of hanging around the neck.
Oh yeah, let's go to our closer here, our final story of the night, and this is Jodie Turner-Smith here, literally crying to Disney that they don't protect her from racist incest trolls and just all the bad people on the internet.
Racist incest trolls?
Yeah, them too.
Yep.
Okay.
Well,
might as well.
They're evolving.
Mm-hmm.
No, wait, no.
We're getting Disney Plus.
Aside from, they're actually, I don't know this. Maybe you do. I'm not high as you are.
I don't know much right now.
Okay, but I have to ask: are there incest trolls? Is that like a new thing?
I know.
Is there any mythology about trolls under the bridge sleeping with their sisters?
Sure,
Well,
that
dude,
seems like a trolly thing to do. Lol, I'm going to trick my gene pool.
I saw a Dr. Phil
Prank
like
my
that.
gene pool.
I feel like we just Game of Thrones this episode right there. I mean, I was like,
the red
Let me put on red. I'll put on the red wedding.
Okay.
So Acolyte star Jodie Turner-Smith, who's basically the person you hire when you want a woman to play the role of a man in a movie and not get over, she's upset because Disney didn't prepare her against the racist trolls of Star Wars, because we always need to talk about the racist trolls of Star Wars in case you guys didn't realize they're racist.
The incest racist trolls of Star Wars.
Yes. And I will say that she wasn't an actress; she's a model. So,
that's why she's terrible.
At no point is she acting.
No, she's just looking a lot. She's looking around a lot.
Leslie Tarkin.
The only thing I know about her is that she was in that terrible like Bonnie and Clyde ripoff with
that's the movie. That's the movie that got me banned from Letterboxd. What was that?
That was such a bad fucking movie. And then she was married to Joshua Jackson, and they apparently had a very like the guy that was on Dawson's Creek. Very happy marriage, and then she was just like, "Oh, I'm leaving," and this is like the next thing that she did. And it was like, "Oh,
wait a minute! Wasn't there a Jonas brother married to another Sophie Turner bullshit thing?"
The drunk Sophie Turner. And it's like,
dude, did you see her CW show is getting the bum fuck? They went from Wednesday to Friday nights at the worst possible time slot. Yeah. So that show's fucking done. What was it called? Like Joanna or Roxana or some fucking shit? That thing's dead.
And now they're going to, spend even more time, drinking her sorrows away, because that's what she does here. But
dude, she look, if you go to Hollywood right now, you probably get laid by that redhead. I'm just saying.
I mean, that's not saying much. Especially if you have some coke, you can pretty much go with any actress in Hollywood.
He hasn't seen my homeless box.
Oh, you pretend like you can sing.
What character does this woman play here? Mother Asanya, whatever her name is.
How do you not know Anastasia? Mother Anastasia.
But she was the leader of the.
Yeah, look, if you do work around that Park Place, because I do some work around that area. I used to do work around Bounding, but then you guys don't love me anymore. Anyway, so like,
Patrick, can you shut the fuck up?
I'm just saying that like I had to watch the show. I can't believe you're not made to watch the show. Why are you not made to watch the show?
Because I watched She-Hulk, and that was enough for me for 2 years. So yeah,
Sorry.
It's a good trade-off.
yeah, right.
Yeah. Show me on the doll where She-Hulk hurt you.
Multiple episodes. But no, so this show, The Acolyte, was about a group of lesbian space witches because whoever was involved with the show is in a witch coven, and she thought that'd be a good idea to highlight lesbian space witches in the Star Wars show, and that was going to get over. And surprised to no one, they got canceled in one season. As a matter of fact, they got canceled like literally 8 days after the final episode aired. So that was great. But all these people, all these women associated with this show has been like whining about it ever since. Like Amanda Stanberg did a couple of videos that we've shown here, whining about the hyper-conservative bigotry and vitriol and prejudice and hatred and all of the buzzwords associated with Star Wars fans. In an interview with Glamour UK, Turner-Smith criticized Disney for not having Steinberg's back when she faced racism and online harassment for simply being in the cast of a Star Wars project. And she goes on to say here, it's disappointing when you feel like your studio is not having your back in a very public facing way. He says they got to stop doing this thing where they don't say anything when people are getting fucking dogpiled on the internet with racism and bullshit, she said. And the Acolyte star says that it's not fair to not say anything. It's really unfair. It would be nice if people that have all the money were showing their support and putting their feet down. It says, saying that this is unacceptable. You're not a fan if you do this. Make this a really big statement and just see if any money leaves. But I bet you won't, because people of people of color, especially black people, make up a very large percentage of the buying power. They find out,
Jacob.
No, they don't.
Yeah,
Jacob, you gotta start buying more Star Wars stuff. Prove her right.
I'd rather not.
Can I say this about her perspective?
Yes.
She's
It's
ignorant.
delusional.
Yeah, she doesn't understand how business works or how media works.
Yeah.
Audience reflects in different ways. If you have people that show up to watch your shit, it can generate money. Disney is not a direct for profit thing when it comes to Disney Plus. They have a very limited audience when it comes to their ad revenue generation. They have to pre-sell this shit to people who will actually put ads on it if that's the case. But if you have nobody on the platform watching your shit, the money isn't there to begin with. Money doesn't leave. Money doesn't show up unless something is interesting to an audience. So,
and here's another thing. Disney clearly did not have a big enough fan base to begin with because they canceled that show in one season. It's probably not the best business decision to go out there and yell at even more fans that you don't have, talking and calling them racist and xenophobe and all the other stands.
At most, and this is when we start to talk about the reality of the situation. If you have less than 5% of the entire subscription base watching the product that you're making, it doesn't make sense to make it in the first place.
Yeah.
And that's almost every single Star Wars show, almost every single Marvel show. You have less people interested in this than watching something on the CW for fucking free. That's bad. And nobody's talking about that. Consider that. If you have 5 or 6 million people watching something on the CW, it's far more profitable than 5 or 6 million people watching some shit on fucking Disney Plus.
Yep.
Hey, Cult Classic Cage on fire, I believe. But I'm just telling you, nobody talks about it this way. The way I just said it has never been said anywhere. The fact that this is not a profitable model for Disney in any of the things that they actually own, because you have to get a decent chunk of your audience interested in the amount of money that you're spending on something, because you have to qualify it against churn, which is the amount of audience that leaves in a given month, the churn for your subscription service. And you have to quantify it in the amount of revenue earned, which is the people that you sell to, the ad platform stuff that you have. None of that makes sense. Disney Plus is the biggest loss leader I've ever seen in my life. And I am like comparing it to Paramount Plus, which is a disaster, and Peacock, which is probably the only thing that's even relatively close to profitable. The only other ad-supported streaming service that ever has looked forward and done well is Discovery before they merged with Warner Brothers. Now they're starting to turn that around. Outside of that, you never should have decided to go out into the business to follow along with Netflix's model, which used all of your content, not their own. They did make their own content because originals are required to maintain some interest, but they used you. You don't even use you. Disney is the worst at actually utilizing the catalog that they have. When they acquired Fox, did you see Fox everywhere? No. Even their own material they censor, right? Disney Plus got rid of Daryl Hannah's ass.
Mermaid or not Splash, right?
It's Splash, yeah.
Yeah.
Why? I mean, this is the biggest problem. So Disney Plus wants to be family friendly, and yet they release the other bullshit that you can find over on Jonas J. Campbell's Everything Woke About channel, where he talks about the stuff that's absolutely offensive to a family audience. Offensive to a family audience isn't some lady's hair-covered ass. It's the fact that you're trying to wokeify their fucking kids. This is the biggest problem Disney has to overcome. Even HBO has to overcome.
Well, let me read this last portion here because this goes on to put an exclamation point on her point. She says here, we're gonna get there at some point to this place where people start having stuck up their ass about people of color being a part of IPs that were created by white people. You know why? Because we're never going to fucking stop participating. So yeah, take that after you guys just canceled my show.
You realize one of the most popular characters in Star Wars was a scoundrel that was friends with Han Solo. His name was Lando Calrissian.
No, there was no black people in Star Wars till 2014. It's been documented.
No.
I do love Billy D. Williams though, just being this like space pimp.
Dude,
45.
A 45.
Okay, whoa, no, wait a minute. Lando Calrissian is one of my favorite Star Wars characters ever.
No matter how many robots he has sex with.
No. That's fucking fake Lando. That's Pando. Fuck you. Don't even bring that shit up.
Who's that? Donald Glover in Solo or whatever?
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, his shit's gonna come out too. Just like fucking Ruin Johnson's trilogy and every fucking thing else. I'm just telling you right
Any
now.
day now. 2 more weeks.
Yeah, 2 more weeks. 2 weeks from now.
I just found out what a childish Gambino was. So
yeah, that's also Donald Glover's a fucking idiot. Yeah. Look, his dad, good. Him, fucking retarded.
So I just want to say, I just want to say that, and Jacob, we've talked about this before, but Disney has been on a self-destructive trajectory since 2019. I mean, we could point to Lightyear, we could point to a lot of different things, but really, ever since I guess it's Infinity War, they're sabotaging their own. It's Marvel, it's ESPN, it's Disney, it's every Star Wars, all the stuff that they're involved in. They seem to be tanking. They seem to be going in this like, hey, we're trying to fit this square peg in a round hole. Nobody's buying it, but we're gonna keep ramming it in there because it's eventually gonna go.
Dude,
it's like
it's like a football team that's
it's
like a football team that's trying to like position itself for the number 1 draft pick, but they're still not going to get it.
Okay, I want to line everybody at bounding up with this new idea. You need to start researching and reporting on Bridge. Halo is your introduction to Bridge. So you need to just this is the path forward. It's gonna be everybody. It's not just gonna be Bounding. It's gonna be that Park Place. It's gonna be my channel. It's gonna be everybody else. This is the thing we need to talk about because it's the way they're gonna try to circumvent all the stuff we already call woke. They're gonna try to relabel and contextualize it as this Bridge thing. And look, the state of Indiana is about to butt fuck. And sorry, I said that out loud. Sorry, people. BlackRock.
Sorry, Indiana.
BlackRock, because BlackRock is the source of all evil, along with obviously Microsoft. You got a bunch of billionaire fucktards that are circumventing your way of life because they are going outside of what actually makes money. They are illegally taking your money and investing it in stuff that isn't solely driven by the desire to make money. Your 401k and all that other stuff. So you have 11 states that I know of that are suing BlackRock for this very reason. It might be more. And I'm going to tell you, Bridge was the next step from that Microsoft, Bill fucking Gates bullshit asshat motherfucker, actually started to put in place. So this is going to be the thing you have to focus on. You're going to start seeing articles about that. I know you guys have seen it. I'm not saying that you haven't. I'm just saying this is where we have to focus our efforts next.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
I don't
If they
doubt it.
expose them to what they do.
I remember the thing with Gina Davis trying to push that thing, maybe like 2019. So it's been around.
You realize that she's the bitch that we have to blame for the Bechdel test, which is a fucking joke in the first place.
Yep.
That fucking C word who developed software to force fuck us with that bullshit, which is why nothing's going to succeed. You can't have two women together in a hallway talking about men. Well, fuck you very much. Do you realize that if you walk down a hallway with two women at 2 paces behind them, you know what they're fucking talking about?
Cheese.
Ain't cheese.
By the way, Neozoic has a question here. Who's suffering worse, Disney or Warner Brothers? Warner Brothers is still massively in debt. Disney is losing probably more money in volume with the stuff that they're putting out there, but Warner Brothers is literally trying to. Well, they still have debt from the Ted Turner days. Just put it that way.
But we have to put that in, and that's the thing. You have to put it in context, like you just did. They're also suffering from the Reverse Morris Trust spinoff. Those are the words I was looking for. That they actually just underwent. So they had to carry that debt outside of AT&T. So AT&T still owns a massive chunk of Warner Brothers Discovery. Most people don't realize that. But you have John Malone, at least at the helm, trying to drive that ship straight. He's also starting to unload some of his most valuable properties, which includes his cable stuff. So you also have a situation where everybody's having to renegotiate their carriage deals. This is going to make the streaming services even less valuable. Why? Because it's going to lower their ARPUs, their average revenue per user, because they're going to have to offer to the cable companies and the satellite providers their streaming platforms for next to nothing, which will drive their ARPU down, which is going to make investors, if they're paying attention, really fucking pissed.
What a surprise.
And you can keep jacking your prices up all the way to fucking holy hell. I'm just going to tell you. Yeah, your customers are going to say, no, thank you. We thought we would eventually get to an a la carte of some sort. If cable had ever offered an a la carte service, we would have had streaming services. This is how stupid media minds are. Sure. Now we have streaming services, and they are doing the same thing the cable people did. People want to pick and choose the things that they watch. We want a la carte. You're still offering us bundle bullshit.
So this is the thing: is that Disney, I think, went downhill when they sold off Power Rangers in 2010.
Well, no, they sold off. They actually went downhill when they bought Power Rangers.
I was going to say they went downhill when Walt died, but that's good.
Yeah, well, that's also true. But look, I want everybody to understand that when somebody else acquires an IP that's successful, it's ultimately doomed.
Well, that's the thing, is that under Disney, Power Rangers went through a renaissance that is arguably the best the series has been since its initial run. Right, and then it arced off. You're correct.
Yeah,
it arced off.
And that's the same thing. It's like now you have so. This is always true in business. This is something I know because that's where I came from. You're going to peak because you have all of the revenue behind you. You have all of the benefits of being of the acquired property. But the problem is that at some point the culture from the thing that acquired you is going to penetrate and ruin you. So you'll go through this amazing renaissance because of that financial, like that substance that you didn't have before, the ability to do whatever you've never done. And then all of a sudden you're going to fall in the toilet.
Yep.
Disney acquires something that's, well, obviously since Eisner left, that's been exactly what's happened. Because you change the culture. It's that's what happens. If you force your culture into the thing that you acquired, everything that made that successful is now, well,
And see, that's what I'm getting at, is that demonstrated that Disney was on this mission of like, if I can't have it, nobody will. They were originally ready to mothball that property until Saban bought it back off of them.
for nothing.
Well,
For
yeah, and now
nothing.
rather than going and making Disney Plus, right, they should have gone to Netflix and said, hey, we want our own blue little drop-down category. It's
Yeah.
our own little thing. That's it. It's all Disney. There's nobody else gets to hang out in our blue drop-down.
And we pull additional revenue from that.
Sure. Well, that's just it. They sell you the Disney. They sell you the Disney package. It's just 99 cents more on top of your Netflix subscription. They're all set forever. They just have to pay a licensing fee to Netflix to occupy their platform.
Consider this. Netflix doesn't care about the money they have to spend to maintain an IP. Do you realize how much money they paid for Friends for 2 more years?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
And so the conversation is around it, when you acquire something, you permeate and destroy the culture that made it great in the first place.
Yep.
And that's happened across the board. What's really interesting is when HBO internally develops an amazing thing, it's an amazing thing. And like I can talk about Game of Thrones up until the end, when that got destroyed by the fact that the fucking people who were doing it decided they wanted to do Star Wars instead. So Disney actually ruined Game of Thrones, no matter what you think. That's
sabotage.
What happened. And you have everything else that they created that was so good. When you create something internally, it's good. If that gets bought out or in other ways subjugated by something else, it gets destroyed, because the motives of the creatives at the point of creation is pure. The thing that happens when it's acquired is the poison.
Yep.
Because they want to leverage, exploit, lots of other bad words to what you did. This is the thing observationally, I think, as culture critics, which no matter what Rob thinks he is, that's what he is. I love this, by the way. Rob, I'm not hitting you head on. This is fun for me. But that's actually what happens is they are literally destroying what they create, and we should be identifying that. We should be identifying the point at which disaster occurred. We need to identify where the accident started. Like we always say that accidents start in slow motion, right? You can see it. We need to say, this is the point where things dissolved. This is the point where things broke down. This is the point when it got corrupted. That's what we need to do. That's what I need to do. I need to focus more on that. And I think as people, like, I participate in journalism, right? Even though I'm an opinionated douchebag, but I participate in journalism. I should be able to clearly delineate when this happened, these were the effects. And I think that's our responsibility as culture critics, in my opinion.
Sure. It opens the door to bridge.
And that's,
you got to be able to, the footsteps to bridge. You've got to be able to show people how they got there. They didn't just drop from the sky one day.
Yeah. Well, and it's like, again, like right now, everything that's covering Halo is the delineation of how we got to bridge. Microsoft is bridge. Yep. And we should be able to draw parallels to how this happened. That's our job right now, is to, because look, that's our influence in culture. It has to be. Anyway,
well,
whether we like it or not, is the point.
The The only thing that may stop Bridge is the union strikes.
Yeah, that's certainly true. Look, I'll say this. I'm going to go ahead and denounce this woman's accusations that were all just a bunch of racist, like sexist bigots who just hate
wait,
women
Jacob.
and the blacks.
You are probably the most racist person I know, Jacob.
I mean, no, you don't, right? You don't know MSK, so I mean that's fine.
Okay,
Well,
all right.
that's why he's putting himself on the altar of the whole thing, so he can atone for it.
Rob is the most. Excuse me,
much.
Rob is the least racist person I know.
Yeah, I'm the least racist person.
Hooray.
Too. So there you go.
Least
I mean,
prejudice.
compared to
All
our
right.
group, maybe. In our inner sphere, that's probably
It's funny. I get called a racist all the time on Twitter, though. So funny how that works.
I know.
That's just because you're
That's
white.
because you're white, yeah.
Yeah. Well, look, if nobody ever saw your picture, how would they know? Oh, by the way, that's
Which is
the
why I
thing
put
I
it out
fucking
there.
hate. Like you want to come at me as a fucking troll? Where's your fucking real picture, bitch? I come out on screen every fucking day. I talk about the things I believe in. You want to call me racist? Go for it. But the people that I champion and my friends, they're like the smorgasbord of everybody in the world. You know, you go after, certain populations. You hate certain races. How do I know? Because you weigh in on dumb conflicts a whole world away where people have always hated each other. Yeah. I can't help you. Fuck you.
Admittedly, calling it a smorgasbord is probably the whitest way to do it. So,
you know what? It's the German way to do it. So fuck you.
Hi, I'm German. Brock.
Fuck you.
All I'm saying is that if this lovely lady has not sold her soul to Moloch yet, then
She
I
has not. Don't be mean.
I would love
to
to take this woman on a coffee date one.
She is a very nice young lady.
I just
You
wonder
realize
why they.
She had no ties to Hollywood, right, Cider? This was a chick that they fucking picked out of like invisibility. Like she wrote an article or an essay or some shit, and she got the acting job. She'd never acted before.
That's how the good ones, most of the good ones show up. Yeah. Well, this is the
technically
thing.
That was kind of a problem in Hollywood. That well, never mind. Go ahead.
I'm just surprised, really, that she's not been stuffed into that. Well, no, I'm surprised they didn't put her into that new Wizards of Waverly Place reboot. It seemed like she's just like the perfect glove to slide into that, but no.
I could tell you why. Because Selena Gomez is a mess of a human being.
But she's a billionaire. Yeah. Wait, she's a billionaireess or whatever.
She does have like a hometown Selena Gomez look to her.
She does. She also looks like she's suffering from too much lunch in that picture, but that's a whole other conversation.
That's great. I love that. A little bit of chunky is nice.
Eyes up, mister. Eyes up.
Eyes up. Okay.
Eyes where?
This is a family show. This is a Christian Minecraft server, mister.
Yeah, especially since the culture's been on here dropping F-bombs all night.
He censored the C word, okay?
I honestly did not say the first bad word on this stream.
Yeah, I did. Carpet bombing us for like the last 2 hours.
Dude, I never get the curse.
Whose fault is that, culture?
I run a PG podcast, bitch.
Oh, okay. That's what it is. That's what we're gonna go with here. All right.
Actually, this is the most I think I've cursed in 2 weeks.
No, what he meant to say was culture, like the outward culture, like we live in a society kind of a way.
No, this has been culture all night.
I am untethered and my rage knows no bounds.
And of course, literally, as I say that, we lost culture, but he'll be back here in a second. But
I would like pause in that clip where he does the explosion and then he just looks around.
It's like he realizes that even he went too far, and it's just kind of like sitting there.
Oh no, I read that as like he exhausted the anger, like it was gone, and he was like, "Oh, I feel better now."
And then that's when the boom happens.
No, what happened was all of a sudden it's like, "Hey, fuck you! All your devices are disconnected." I was like, "What the fuck just happened right now?"
Yeah, that happened to me.
Area 51. See, that's the thing.
That's censorship.
I feel like there are some like steel stakes in the bottom of the ocean that just like drove me off the platform.
They vibrate just the right.
Well,
Right,
yeah, I
frequency.
feel like there's there's an induction of a hurricane happening right now. I'm just saying.
Sure. I would not be surprised.
Just saying.
If you want to swear though on camera, just create a channel called Uncultured Casino.
Mhm.
You
And
know
just
what?
go over there and just
Great
swear
idea.
about everything.
Dude, you don't even
Culture
realize.
used to have this show called Culture After Dark, where I thought that was kind of the entire point of having a
wa-
Culture After Dark.
that was the point, and then I reversed it. I wanted to make it a variety show because I felt like variety shows right now suck ass. Like
Because they're all propaganda for
yeah,
DNC.
and I was like, no, I want to go back to being like Mad Magazine, Saturday Night Live in the first 2 years and shit like that. I was like, you know what? We can be dirty, but just not overtly. We can be we can make smart comedy and counterculture stuff. And as CC Sauce, no, I wish, dude. I have my back is killing me today. I did dumb things outside. So yeah.
Yeah, all I would say to Maurice there, because I don't know what part of Florida you're from, but if you're anywhere in Central Florida, now's probably a time to get out.
Yeah. If you're in Tampa or
Thanks for listening to the show, though.
Sweetwater or anywhere, please listen
Lakeland.
to us please listen to us while you get the fuck out. Okay, get going.
Yeah, Mersh.
Because
Yeah, exactly right. Mersh, Royce, you'd probably get seriously. I'll just say this, and then we'll wrap things up here.
No,
If you guys just saw what happened to Tennessee and North Carolina over the course of the next couple of weeks, understand if this thing becomes bad, like bad, and you're in Central Florida, understand the government is not coming to save you. They're not coming to save you. They're not coming to help.
The government hates you. They love Ukraine, but they fucking hate you.
So
Get the fuck out.
Don't think, oh, I'll just toughen it out. Oh, I've been through bad ones before. Then things go wrong. You're like, oh, somebody help me. It's like, not the government. You're on your own, buddy. So yeah, maybe take the next 24 hours you have left and kind of split while you have the opportunity. And on that note, we'll go ahead and end our show. We'll go ahead and let you guys sign off with anything that you guys want to tell people about. We'll start with this man over here, the hair.
I like
How
that
you
guy.
doing?
Looking good.
No, well, okay, no, actually, do it again. No, yeah, oh, okay, better. Okay, thank you. Okay,
there you
go. All right, so I practiced this once. By the way, Eddie Brock _YT on Twitter. I practiced this only once, so I got to try it at least once. Okay, so it's Joker 2, and Joker's already been taken care of by the police, right? And he's over in the corner, and there's the shadows and everything.
Is that you in the spotlight losing your religion?
No, just okay. So, an disembodied head, just shows up, and it's the Joker, right? And he just starts, send in the clowns. Those daffy, laffy clowns, send in those soulful and doleful smokes by the bowlful clowns. And so then the movie ends.
Is that after he gets booty gooned?
Yes, right afterward. He's in his disrevengeful dread, his ego is dead, and he's just laying there, right? And his butt hurts, and then that comes in.
So
Eddie Brock Eddie Brock _YT at twitter.com.
Thank you, Eddie. Cider, what do you have coming up? Do you happen to have a show within the next 24 hours that you would like people to know about that you're being on and stuff?
Yeah, that would be 01 over on the Bounding Into Comics YouTube channel at 8 p.m. where Nerdigans and I talk about weeb stuff. Weeb stuff from Japan until 9 o'clock when Jacob and Spencer join us and we talk about gaming and also anime stuff and then Hollywood stuff. Yeah. We also upload videos, and Culture mentioned it a little bit before. There's also some neato music going on there. Check out the Bounding Radio playlist tab where the full-length songs from the videos we upload and the discussion videos we upload are uploaded. It sounded cooler in my head.
You had it there for a minute. I'll give you
A
that
minute,
much.
just a minute.
Rob.
Keep it up.
Howdy, folks. It's been another lovely episode of the Barroom Podcast. Thank you for stopping by. I've got literally nothing going on right now. I'm really inundated with the NFL, and I've included gambling as part of my process this year, which is a lot of fun. I just won $640 on Sunday, so that was fun. But
Now, hold on. That did you win $640? Did after you accumulated all your losses, you eventually came to $640?
No, they were all bonus bets. So I literally it was like I had
We
3 or
got-
4 parlays out there. So to be fair, there were other ones that failed, but
Because some people like to use
Rob's a Greek.
I was gonna say because some people like to use gambler math. They'll tell you, "Oh yeah, I won $3,000,000," but don't tell you that they won like 10 grand, lost 10 grand before that. So it's like,
yeah, I don't. The key is like I only put up like between $25 and $50 a week, and I just do a couple parlays. And hey, if they hit, great. If not, it's a little bit of money lost, but it's just for fun. It's really all it is. So, but yeah, I send your Halloween horror movie recommendations to me. I'm gonna try to a lot more watched. I'm kind of getting a slow start to the month, but there's just some stuff I want to get to, like Darkman, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I've got Psycho to watch, so definitely send those over to me. You can always find me on Twitter there, and that's you know the routine. Just do it.
All right, I guess we should thank Captain Caveman for joining us here on our show tonight and gracing us with his presence. So I'll go ahead and give the floor to you guys.
Wait a minute. I thought you asked me to be on the show.
Well, I mean, I kind of sent out an invite, and then you didn't tell me you were showing up until I started the intro. So
You sent me your love on a wire.
I mean, it was kind of more of a, hey, if you're not doing anything, a group of us are going to be heading over here for a while. And then it's like, oh yeah, you're here.
Well, I guess I won't be on here for a while.
That turned Taylor Swift. That turned Swifty all of a sudden.
You didn't send me an explicit invitation?
I'll put it to you this way: if you were like our Taylor Swift group friend circle, you kind of be more of like the Bella Thorne in the group. So there you go.
Well, that makes it clear to me. Yeah. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, you just witnessed the last appearance of me on the Barroom Podcast. I had a lot of fun. Hopefully you did too. And while I did let loose, I feel like it was all in vain for the support that I get from the host. I feel bad for that MSK guy also. On that note, you just definitely promote the hell out of that guy. And I want to promote the other people on this channel that don't get the respect from Jacob that they deserve. I hope everybody here realizes and recognizes who the real talent on the show is. It's Rob. Rob is the real talent on the show. You should check out everything that he does. He's friendly. He's stoned.
Integrity. That's what I think of when I think of Rob.
Well, yeah, I think of integrity, like structural integrity. I also think of my friend Cider, who I think is very aggressive on his music selections and his recent YouTube videos for bounding. I think maybe find things that are more appropriate rather than some rap or metal for stuff, but that's fine. Yeah, disco would be great. Can you give me some? Can I get some Heart of Glass or some K-pop or something? That would be great, actually.
Okay.
On that note, I actually have a YouTube channel, and actually a few of them. Culture Casino, easy to find. You can also find my gaming channel, which I'm very proud of. I've got a beautiful team, including your fearless leader, that Spencer dude. He's on my team for that gameplay. So you want to check that out because we do video game stories in a way that makes sense. We will not shill. We will not. We won't. We won't rate everything as 7. Fuck IGN very much. And yeah, check us out because it's a lot of fun. And Jacob, who I considered a friend until tonight, he's fine. Go check out Society Reviews. Whatever he does, I don't even know anymore.
I totally got skipped over.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't give any kind of shout out to Eddie there. Just
Well, no, Eddie's great. I think I already said that multiple times. I mean, Eddie feels like a guy who's got great hair, but I think he already got some promotion earlier. So, yeah,
that's enough promotion for Eddie.
Well, I mean, if you're really gonna promote MSK the way you did, I think I felt like it gave Eddie way more than.
Here's how I promote MSK.
Beat it. Wash your ass.
No, that's really how it goes. That is actually how it goes. Yeah. No, that's 1-to-1 right there.
Yeah. And on that note,
That's
I'll
how I
let you
get my
guys know.
invitation.
Wait,
Well, we got.
Was there somebody else on the show I didn't promote? Oh wait, you. Fuck you. I'm pissed at you, dude. You are like the Diddy of this crew. What the fuck, man?
Hey, there's no freak off parties happening over here.
Wait a minute. Do you want me to tell them what happened? Okay, no. I'll be quiet.
No, we'll save that for another show. I'm pretty sure we'll circle around it when the Bieber story drops.
Hey, now.
Who else do we got going on here? So last Sunday, I talked with our good buddy Shagsworth over on the Bible Lens. So we had another great conversation, and we're gonna have another one here in
Wait a minute.
weeks.
Shags believes in the Bible?
No, he's on the fence, which is exactly why we had our conversation. But he did agree to come back on the 27th.
Does he realize how sharp those pickets are on that fence? Because his ass has to fucking hurt. Holy shit!
Oh yeah. I mean, I try to tell that he's basically in the same position as Rob and Spencer, but Spencer's also going to join us on the 27th because we're going to talk about biblical prophecy as well. So that'll be a nice show to look forward to. But go check out our conversation for Sunday night if you want to check that out. It's on the channel. This coming Sunday, we're going to be talking about the blasphemy behind the idea of quote unquote easy believism. Imagine telling like a Christian somewhere, I don't know, let's just say Pakistan, that simply believing in Jesus Christ is not enough for them. They have to do more. And living in a country where really their faith can get them killed. We'll talk about that in more depth on Sunday. We won't be doing a Friday night movie show this week. I know next Tuesday on the Bar Room, we should be reviewing that Saturday night movie, which is the movie talking about the very beginning of Saturday Night Live back in the 1950s. So that's something to look forward to on next week's show. Orange Chat, I'm pretty sure, will be back next week. Rick will be back next week. So just in case you guys missed those two, they will be coming back.
And can I just mention that everybody should watch the edited version of Kamala versus the actual version of Kamala, because it literally is destruction.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not the best. And with all that, I want to go ahead and thank all of you guys for joining us here on the show.
She is amazing. Here. I don't care what you say. That is a nice young lady.
I did not say anything bad
If
about this
anybody
woman
says something bad about Iman Vellani, you and I will have words.
I'm pretty sure now that she's wearing more revealing stuff. I didn't know she wore so much revealing stuff.
Yeah,
this is not revealing. And first of all, it fits within her faith. She's covered.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, she'll get stoned in like Saudi Arabia wearing this, but I mean,
I thought she was insufferable in the Marvel sequel, so I didn't see the original, but yeah, I thought she was absolutely incredibly annoying. I mean, there's a lot of issues with that movie, to be fair, but but
that's because Disney writes teenagers like they're 4-year-olds. That's kind of the problem.
Gushing over,
wait. Rob, have you seen The Descendants?
The George Clooney movie
that exists?
No, the Disney Descendant thing bullshit.
No.
You've swung beyond his limit, buddy. In that sense,
yeah.
He hasn't gone back.
Rob goes out of his way to avoid kid stuff.
Have you seen the movie about the children of the Disney princesses and the Disney villainesses, where they have internal conflicts and interpersonal drama, and also go to a high school together?
No,
of course not.
No. He has no context, is what I'm trying to say. Okay.
We just said he had integrity. Now he has no context.
I'm just envisioning Rob watching this. That's all. I kind of want him to do like a commentary track.
You gotta give me like a 38% indica for that one. It's gotta be like 20% higher than what I usually smoke.
Okay, dude, I'm gonna mail you some plants, bro, because you gotta watch that. I'm gonna mail you plants for that.
Well, don't do that, because that'll be a federal crime. We don't.
No, it won't be. No. It's fine. It's totally fine.
You just use a couple of donkeys.
Biden said it's cool, bro.
Yeah. Eating ice cream.
It's fine. It's fine.
But yeah, outside of that, I want to go ahead
Two
and
blunts,
say thank you
two
guys.
scoops.
Thank you guys for joining us here on this show. We'll give you our super special, awesome outro that features culture's favorite woman in the whole wide
Wait,
world.
but does
who's
it
also
feature
in there.
me? You know what? I feel like you leave me out. I'm neglected. I'm
Well,
not gonna
here,
show up
how about this? How about you watch our outro and see if you can find your name on it? Spoiler alert, your name's not there. Goodbye, everybody.
Okay.
I made the music part, not the part where she needs to fart.
Dick.
See, culture? See, this is the music I made.
She stole my cover gimmick.
Okay, so I want to say this. This is amazing.
Wouldn't you like to tune away?
I do like the fact.
All those nights when
My name's not on here. I'm gonna say that. Biggles is fucking on here.
There I am.
Your boss is always on your case.
Nah, I can read that.
Holy shit. Everybody knows your name and they're always glad you came. Wanna be where you can see our troubles are all the same.
By the way, Biggles is in the intro, unlike you.
Everybody knows your name. Roll out of
Okay, well,
bed
you
and
also
feel the
suck.
dread. The morning's looking bleak. The morning's and your internet
Do you
is
say invitation to all these people?
haven't slept
Can
all week.
I tell you something?
Down on the way.
He's really pretty.
Be glad
I don't
there's
care
a
what
place
you guys
online
say.
where you can feel at ease. In the barroom, podcast friends, we share our thoughts.
Hear that
and
casino go away.
every story shared, every laugh so free.
I have to
Sometimes you
walk around the
wanna go
neighborhood now.
where everybody knows your name and they're always glad you came. Wanna be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You wanna be where everybody
Cider.
knows your name. So here's to the moments we all
I need a better
hold
spotlight in
dear.
order to get that color scheme.
In this barroom of the airways with friends so near. Every story
And I need to teach you how to do three-dimensional lighting, though.
It's more than just a podcast, it's where we steer.
I still don't feel like I know how to shoot these things.